What's happening, guys? It's Dean from Electronic Sounds. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, check this out, right? Whoop! I met this cat named Pierrot the Acid Clown, and he's giving out some free stems, right? So I downloaded these free stems, I chopped them up inside of Ableton Live, and I brought them down to just the individual pieces. I had an idea to load these pieces inside of my Roland Octopad, but unfortunately the pad kind of took a dive on me, so check it out. Whoop, over here to the back live jam corner. Hang on just 1 second and see what I've come up with, you guys.
Electronic Sounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
So, this video is how Dean Daughters met the Clown Army. Just quickly, how is the sound out there, people? We are having some technical issues this end, but we're going to give it a whirl and see how it goes. Like I say, this is how Dean Daughters met the Clown Army, and I believe that this is the track Trying to Be Charlie Ryan, which I stemmed up and gave to loads of people, and it got a release on Boomtape. And this is quite a while ago. This is probably 7 years ago. So I'll just wait for Dean to finish the track, and then I will introduce your interviewer and your interviewee. Look at the fun that man is having. That is what music is all about. Go on, Dean. So yeah, as I say, we are in for another round of interviews from the Clown Army, and your interviewer for today is, as always, Eric Lewing. Welcome to the party, Eric.
Yo, how's everybody doing out there? I'm just trying to catch my breath after that heater of a fucking track we just heard.
Yeah, tell me about it, right? Like I say, 7 years ago, I believe that was. I'll check the date on that. And our interviewee is Dean Daughters.
Thanks for having me.
Dean, absolute pleasure. I know we're having some tech issues at the moment, but I'm pretty sure this interview is going to be full of ridiculously good information and lovely stories. So, without further ado, Eric and Dean, please take it away. One more time, how is the sound out there, people?
Good? Good, I hope.
All right. We're having some difficulties this morning. I can barely hear these guys on my end, so just bear with us, everyone.
If I'm yelling, it's because I want Dean to hear me harass him with a million questions. So. I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm yelling at Dean. God damn it. Yo, how's everybody doing out there? I want to thank everybody. Eric's too soft.
I can't see the stream, so whoever's tuned in, thanks for tuning in.
Dean is clear. Like way, way low. So I guess we're a little bit low. Can you guys like understand us and stuff? Is it good? I'm getting mixed vibes here. Some people are saying good. Some people are saying not good. Some people are saying great. Like, what the hell?
I wonder if it's a country's thing. Is anybody in the U.S. getting clean sound, or is there only clean sound on the other side of the world?
Had to turn it up, but good now. Yeah, just turn the volume up, motherfuckers.
Crank that shit, y'all.
Yeah! Well, we'll continue. If the sound is shit, just let us know in the comments or whatever, and we'll try and figure something out. But I want to thank everybody that is tuning in today.
Yeah, big ups for tuning in. Thanks for being here, you guys.
I love you guys. Without you guys tuning in, it would just be me and Dean talking shit amongst ourselves. So thank you. For those of you that are new to the whole concept of the Clown Army interviews, we throw a poll out there in the group. We let you guys decide who you want to see me torture, and then I torture them for you. So everybody voted for Dean. I think Dean is a landslide, man. But surprise, you know, who was running tight with you in the poll was the Sound of James. So be looking out for an interview with the Sound of James coming soon.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. All right.
Yeah, he keeps hitting strong in those polls.
Totally.
Man. But you guys voted for me to torture Dean today, so here we are torturing Dean today. Thank you, Dean, for taking time and out of your busy schedule and hanging out with me and shooting shit,
absolutely.
Man.
It's great to be here.
Yeah. So Mark kind of touched on that video we saw in the beginning as maybe how you found the Clown Army. Can you elaborate a little bit?
I was just scrolling Facebook and I saw a post. That was absolutely the Trying to Be Like Charlie Ryan track that Mark put together. And he had doled the stems out, and I thought, well, this is cool. You know, let me mess with these and see what I can do. Had a lot of fun doing that. And, yeah, that's how I, came to be a part of the Clown Army.
That's fucking awesome. That's even before my time, man. You're like an OG in the Clown Army. You are, man. You've been here, like, probably since damn near the beginning.
Yeah, I missed the first Clown Fest, but I've done every Clown Fest since then.
When you say you've done like you've done a set for every Clown Fest since
Every
then?
one but the first one.
Nice, nice. I think I started doing sets around like 9 or 10 is when I started like
Right?
actually submitting. I was there before then, but that's when I got the balls to actually try it. You know,
Yeah, right on.
no
But I
looking back
love that
since.
last one when you went live.
Yes, yes, I shit my pants about 15
It takes
times.
a lot of balls to do that, man. Big up.
There's I don't know if anybody noticed it, but there, about midway in that set, I have my APC 64, and it's got these little touch fader things on either
On the
side.
side, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't realize it, but I hadn't turned on still because they look cool for lighting and stuff, you know, blinky lights and stuff. They look cool on the video, but midway through the set, my pinky accidentally slapped one of them and turned one of my synths up to like volume 11.
Right?
And in my headphones, it was like, wow, wow, wow. I was like, ah! But thank God, I kind of have this hybrid set up with Ableton and my APC and the synths and stuff. So I just like really quickly grabbed my mouse and like went edit, undo last thing. And it brought it back to the right volume. But holy shit, I shit my pants about 15 times during that. I gotta say, Dean, you are one of the most positive people I've met out there, man. You're
Aw, thank
always
you.
out there just spreading so much
I really
positive
try.
energy
I
and
really
love.
try to spread it. You know, the thing for me is like when I was starting this, like way back in the '90s and stuff, people were like down with it, and you could have conversations with normal people about like music or electronic music. But
Yeah,
these days, you know, everything has shifted so far from like the vibe of that.
yeah.
Um, and I just want to like share the enthusiasm for making music. I love doing this still. I love doing it as much as I did when I started like 30 years ago. And
Oh
I just
wow,
want to spread, you know, that love for doing this. This is a lot of work, and a lot of people need a lot of support, you know, to make
absolutely.
their, you know, dreams become a reality. And I just love being a part of that whole process and inspiring other people to like making music as much as I like making music. You know what I'm saying? KPP
Yes.
all the way, man.
KPP, keep
That's
people
what I'm
positive.
about.
You do a really good job of keeping people positive. I know just from like for me myself, there's been many times where, you know, we don't talk every day, you know, or whatever, but I've randomly messaged you random shit and like you just spread that positivity on me and like you've even helped me with you know, like finding I got your MIDI pack and stuff, and I use the hell out of your MIDI pack, by the way. I do. I'll take it as like a starting off point, you
Yeah,
know, and then
totally.
I like tweak the notes around a bit
Sure,
to make
sure.
it fit whatever I'm doing. But like
Absolutely.
like the reason I bring that up is because, you know, like one time I was like, ah man, I can't. I'm such a fucking writer's block right now. What am I gonna do? And you're like, hey, check this out. And it was a game changer. I religiously use that thing shamelessly. But yeah, man, you're so positive. I don't, and also I don't know how you find the time to be around as much as you are. Like you're always in, it seems like you're always in every single show.
Well,
You're
I mean,
always
that's just
just
the thing.
there.
I really want to support the other people that are doing, you know, like what I'm doing. And I'm really blessed in that this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. So I don't like have to go out to a J job or whatever. So I'm kind of always around, you know what I mean? Like if I've got time that I can, you know, take off and watch somebody else have a stream or whatever, or be a part of that, that's definitely what I'm about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm always like waiting for Dean Daughters to show up, or Electronic Sounds to show up, and then there you are in the comments. I'm like, yes.
I don't do a lot of like listening to new music these days. Like if it's been
Me neither.
released in like the past 10 years, probably I probably don't know it like at all. but that's still where I'm getting like my new music is like through people, jamming on YouTube and doing all that stuff. There's so many options for like what we could, spend our time listening to. And I'd rather just spend my time hanging out with people who are trying to
Yes,
make their own stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's readily available to us now. Whereas, like, think back
absolutely.
in the 90s, you may have had like one or two friends who were like trying to make music on their own. But now, thanks to the internet, I get to hang out with big
It's a
groups of
network.
people who are into this. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, me too. Um, and I kind of always go by the theory, I want to support the homies too, just always
Absolutely.
support the homies. Like even sometimes, if one of the buddies from online has a release or something on Bandcamp, and they're like, "I'll just give you the WAV file or something," I'm like, "No, man, I want to go buy it. I want to support."
Yeah, that's cool,
If you just
man.
give it to me, it takes the the meaning away from it a bit. But yeah. So you say you've been doing music for about 30 years now?
Yeah, I really like I started out, it's been longer than that. Like I started out in like 1987 like trying to make electronic music with a friend. He had a little bit of gear, I had a little bit of gear, and we just, sort of went down that road together. But like in those days it was like really hard. Like as much as you might have good intentions about making cool stuff, you could only make what like you could make.
Right.
Like there wasn't a lot of places to go to get outside help or instruction or guidance on using the gear, on writing electronic music at all. And it was kind of just a free for all. And back in those days, like if somebody was really good at using the gear, like that was kind of like their personal technique, and they were not going to share their
Yeah.
secrets with you, like
Yep.
no matter what. um
It's what gave
I'm
him the
really
edge.
I'm really thankful and grateful to have like when I did the biggest jump of like learning from those days of like just trying to do stuff to actually knowing a little more about what I was doing and doing things with purpose is because I studied on YouTube for just
Right.
years and years and years. Every tutorial that I could possibly watch about everything, EQ and gain staging and just everything. And then like it sort of gave me a platform to want to give back to other people and help other people like I was helped along my journey. You know what I mean?
Aw.
Because without those people taking the time to make videos and share their production knowledge, there's no way I would be where I'm at now with my production knowledge.
Right. Right. YouTube University is an amazing thing. It really
Absolutely.
is. I use it even in my work life, and be like, how the fuck do I
Sure.
fix this? And I'm like, okay. So what was some of the first electronic music that you heard? Like what inspired you to like get into wanting to
I've
produce and
always
make
been
music?
into like a lot of different music, but specifically back in the 80s, I remember like my very first cassette tape that I ever bought was the Thompson Twins, Into the
Really?
Gap. Okay, now the Thompson Twins were a very like percussive and drum machine kind of band. So like
Yep.
those rhythms and lots of synthesizers and stuff like that. And that made me want to do all of this stuff. And then like I went out and got another tape from them. And back in the day when there wasn't CDs and stuff, they would do neat stuff with tapes. So like I got a tape with one of their albums on one side, but the B side was all these remixed versions of the songs that were on the album. And I had never heard anything like that at all, back in those days. And it really like piqued my interest. All this extra percussion, all this extra reverb and delay. Like they were doing a lot of
Yes.
dubby style remixes back then. And
Yes.
I wanted to be a part of all that. Um, and you know, I started playing drums when I was very, very young. And so anything that has like really good rhythmic sensibilities, like really would speak to me. So I really identified um, with like pop music that used like drum machines and synthesizers as opposed to like maybe more real instruments.
right? And that was
And
definitely
then
the
in the
time for
90s,
it.
like I was listening to everything breakbeat, like Junkie XL and Apollo
Yes.
440 and all this great stuff. But I never, like, I don't say I never, but at that time, I wasn't really into four on the floor music. Like, I didn't quite like understand it. Um, and it wasn't until 1996 that I went to like a live festival here in California, where a whole bunch of bands played that were doing four on the floor stuff, including Underworld. And when I
Ooh.
saw that and like really made this connection in that environment, like I suddenly just got it. I understood, like, oh, because before it was like breakbeat and broken beat and stuff. There's rhythm there. You know what I mean? You can
Right,
really
right, right.
identify with that as a drummer. But the four on the floor stuff didn't really speak to me, and I didn't really understand it until I saw it live. And then, like, now the rest is history, as they say. I just love it all, you know. I
Yeah.
just love it all,
You're
and I like to
hooked.
make it, and I like to teach it, and I like to make sound banks for it, and collect sounds and put those in other people's palettes so they can make songs.
I'm one of those
I
people.
just, as much as I can be involved in it and like do this and have it all just sort of combined together.
Yeah, yeah. So what was the first piece of electronic kit that you got way back in the day?
Well, we started out in 1987. My friend had the first like home available sampling keyboard, which was a
Nice.
Roland S50. And
Nice.
back in the day, that was like a really big deal because you could, you know, finally record into something and press a button and play it back. Um, but it always sounded really shitty, and I, you know, didn't really understand why. I do now. It was an 8-bit mono sampler, so you're talking like the lowest sampling grade
Yeah,
possible, and
yeah.
like, you know, one channel, no stereo, nothing like that.
Oh shit.
So everything you would sample into it would sort of have like a lo-fi vibe. And we used like an old Roland TR-505 drum machine next to that to get some MIDI sequencing happening and just try to write like alternative electronic pop music.
What's this?
Those were
Oh, the
really good
sampling
times,
keyboard.
really
Yes.
good times, and gave me like the basis um, of my love of sampling. This is why I think that that's really like my workflow today, is because that's sort of how I started. Back in those days, if you wanted to have like really nice synthesizers and stuff, that stuff was very like so expensive.
I can.
It wasn't like
There
it is
wasn't no
now.
Behringer clones
Yeah,
back
exactly.
then.
I was going to say it wasn't Behringer time yet. I mean, it was nothing. So if you wanted to have gear, you had to have a lot of money.
It
And a
makes me think
sampler.
of the meme: if you can afford a truck, you can afford a Moog.
Yeah, right. So you cannot drive if you want, but you can play a synth. It was very expensive. So the sampler was like an absolute, you know, dream in those days because you didn't have to have an extra, you know, $5,000 sampler just to get a pad sound. I mean, an extra $5,000 synthesizer. You could
Yeah,
just
there it
sample it.
is. If he can afford a truck, he can afford a Moog.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Fucking Mark.
I could never afford a truck.
Or a Moog. But if I had to choose, I would probably go with a Moog and just take the bus or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. um, what outside influences, musical influences, do you got outside of just like electronic music? Like, do you like
Oh
jazz?
God,
Do you like
you know,
rock?
it's
Do you
I'm
like?
a really big fan of like alternative singer-songwriter stuff. Like I'm not just a techno guy. Like when I listen to music, I listen to like a lot of pop bands from the 90s and acoustic singer-songwriter stuff from the
Me too.
90s, like Billy Bragg. My favorite bands of all time are like the Wonder Stuff and Ned's Atomic
Nice.
Dustbin, Charlatans UK. Uh, I really love that Manchester sound from the 90s, like
Yes.
Happy Mondays and Charlatans. That vibe with like the bass and the guitars just locked in those funky grooves with like lots of organ. Dun, dun, bah, 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 bah. You know,
Yes.
just I'm like listening to that kind of stuff till the cows come home. Um,
Till the cows come home, he said.
but I think I'm really lucky in that respect. Like a lot of the people that I know don't like the full gamut of electronic music. Like they'll like drum and bass or like high tempo stuff, but like forget about anything low tempo. Or there'll be people like that only like house but can't stand drum and bass or
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I feel really blessed that I just love it all.
I do too. I love it
Yeah.
all. I have to admit, in my personal time, like if I go to look for music to listen to, even I'm just driving the car or whatever, like I'm going for the '90s rock.
Sure, sure. I'm so bad. I'm like the worst. Like I don't listen to any like modern music whatsoever.
No, me
Unless it's
neither.
being made live by like friends on YouTube, I'm not
Yes,
listening to anything modern
yes,
at all.
same
I
here.
probably should be, to try to
But
stay
should
as,
you?
current as I can with the vibes and stuff, but like
But should
I
you?
don't
Why?
know.
Why? Why? Why should you? I
I
think you're
sort of
going about
have
it the
like
right way.
I sort of have my own kind of like sound these days, and I just sort of like follow chase that.
Yeah, yeah. I uh I wouldn't listen to any modern music if it wasn't for work. They have the top 40 uh radio
Sure.
station playing in the lobby at all times. And so I hear the same songs
Hmm.
all day long, and
Yeah, I
I'll be
remember
like,
those days listening to the radio.
and then I'll catch myself being like, ah pate, ah pate, ah pate. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Eric? um so getting along to like your creative process and stuff, like how do you start a track? Like when you sit down to make a track, what's the first thing you start with? Is it the drums? Is it
It's
the
usually
bass?
drums, and I'm sort of like my biggest like downfall is my melodic sensibility, and my biggest strength I think is my rhythmic sensibility. So I
Well, you're coming from a
typically
drumming background, so
yeah, I typically have a tendency to sort of fall back on like extra heavy drums rather than coming up with like the most catchy melodics. I'd
yeah.
like to be better at melodics, and sometimes, like every now and again, I'll try to start something with melodic elements and then, sort of fill the drums into that. But I tend to find that if I don't start with that really solid drum foundation, I tend to have a hard time matching drum sounds to
Yep.
existing music rather
Yep.
than I'm a lot better at matching music to existing drum sounds, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes complete sense. And also, I kind of have the same approach. I feel like the drums and the bass for me, getting that groove, getting the movement of the track
Yeah,
is the most important. And then you sprinkle the other stuff on top of it.
sure,
That's just my
exactly.
approach. Uh, when you're starting a song, where do you find like the inspiration for starting your music?
I would love to have some really cool story for that. Like this is where I get but I really don't. Um, I'm more of like I've been just this is what I do every day. So it's just a discipline and a workflow and kind of an existence, for lack of a better way to say it. This is
Right.
just what I do. Um, um, and so I do it if I'm inspired. I do it if I'm not inspired. I just do it.
You
Um,
just kind of make yourself hop in there and just do the thing.
exactly. If I'm not like super super inspired to write something, I can work on the sample side of it, which is actually like I'm if I had to sort of choose one direction or the other, I'm definitely more of a sound designer and like a sample creator than I
Right.
am like a super shit hot musician. I really love making sounds and making samples, and even more so than that, trying to create like sample packs and sound banks that will inspire someone when they sit down and start going through the sounds that I've put together in that pack or whatever, that the sounds themselves will go together and be
Right.
easy to use together and work together and allow the end user to get into a flow state to where they don't have to suddenly go pull through like 19 other packs to find like
Yes.
a sound to blend with my sounds and all that kind of stuff. I really try to um, I really try hard to like make the experience for the end user as positive, seamless, painless, and inspiring as possible. And every now and again, I get to hear stuff that people have made with the sounds that that I provide, and that is just like the best feeling in the
Yeah.
world.
Well, I gotta say, like I was saying earlier, I got the what's it called, the Ultimate MIDI pack
Yeah, the big
of
MIDI
yours.
bundle.
Yeah, yeah, the Ultimate MIDI bundle, and it is so well organized.
Thank you.
You know, like I can just each category I can take an ARP, a bass line, the labeling, the grouping of everything. It's spot on. So like
Thanks.
I don't have to sit there and think because I'm not like necessarily a super musician either. You know, I'm more into like the technical stuff and blah blah blah. But you know, so having those there and not having to scroll through forever,
One
it's
of the things
huge.
when I first started doing this, s- there was no downloadable like sample packs back in those days. It was audio CDs, pretty much only. Um, and they were like $100 or more. And
Insane,
you would
right?
get one of these, and you would be all excited, to go home, and I'm going to load this in my sampler, and I'm going to start, picking some things, and I'm going to put some stuff together. And you might be able to put together like a basic groove pretty easily. And then you're like, okay, let me go ahead and grab something else to layer onto this.
Yep.
And like the pack would suddenly have like 18 different tempos and
Yeah.
stuff in like every single key, and like nothing that you've put together has anything that you can now match with that. And I'm kind of thinking, well, this is stupid. Like what's the point of making packs this way? And that's how everybody was doing it back then.
Yeah.
Everybody. It felt more like what you were getting is like pieces of songs that didn't get finished, just random
Yep.
crap from like their hard drive, not a thought out pack of structured sounds that would go together and inspire you to use those sounds. And you would constantly be searching for stuff to use with it. And that would take so much time. So I consciously make an effort that my products are the absolute opposite of that. Everything in the pack is going to go with everything else in the pack, and
Yep.
it's going to get you actually writing stuff, not searching for hours and hours and hours for new material that might maybe go with what you've already put together. That to me is just huge, huge, especially for people who are just getting started in this kind of thing, because you
Absolutely.
can't expect to come to the table and know how to put all this stuff together.
Everything.
You
Yeah.
need some guidance and stuff, and you need some structure and help along the way. And I try to make that process like really easy, if to the easiest that I can, so that people will be excited to work with the sounds and make music.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's
Like
all about.
I've spent money on another sample pack or MIDI pack, and I won't name drop the people, but it starts with Ghost, and oh my god, it was just a bunch of doom 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 doom, bing bing bing, like just random shit.
Yep. I
I've yet to use any of it in any of my live streams or any of my songs or anything. I've yet to use any of it.
One of the weirdest things about like samples and being in this business is that I listen to the demos, for so many sample packs, but then you get a hold of that sample pack and you're like, I don't understand how they made what
It
they're
doesn't make
telling
sense.
me that this is supposed to make. When this doesn't sound anything like their demo, it's just a whole lot of that, you know,
Yeah.
weird like bait and switch with the whole thing. And because anybody can make a sample pack, you've got people with outrageous differences in their production skills. And, sometimes you might get a pack where it's pretty much not even usable because their
Yeah.
production skills aren't where, they would really need to be doing this kind of thing. And I just want like people to not have those weird struggles that I went through in the 90s trying
Yep.
to put stuff together when I didn't know how to make my own stuff yet. You know what I mean? It
Yep.
was really, really hard back then. Um,
It
really
it
hard.
it surprises me that Dean's like, oh yeah, I struggled to do this, because I thought Dean just like came out of the womb with all
Oh
this musical
God,
Yeah,
knowledge.
I
me
struggle
too.
even now. I
Me
struggle
too.
even now, all the time.
I
Yeah.
think that's big though. I think you know, a lot of people, like Mark said, we just got this vision of, like, for instance, you or a lot of people too, but of like you just came out of the womb making
Right? Well,
fucking fire.
I
But
think we all have those kind
there's
of
a real
personas.
person.
I've got a persona of Mark that you put him in front of the gear and he could jam out for a couple of hours, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mark, is that the case?
It was the case. I need to get back into it a little bit. Also, the workflow on the MPC one is way different to an Electribe, so it's getting
Yeah,
used to that.
sure.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something too. I'm glad he mentioned workflow. That's like, as a synth nerd, that's one of the things that I really like doing is I like trying different workflows out. That's one of the reasons why I still make like live music, because I'll spend a lot, like way too much time, just like thinking about how I could approach putting something together, or like what would this workflow kind of be like. And I'm not trying to get to like some be all end all workflow flow situation where it's the same. I like to try to change it all the time and just change how I'm doing stuff.
That's one thing that stands out with a lot of the videos you make. Like for like a lot of us, we got our synths just set up, our whole studio set up all the time, you know, and we just walk up to it and do whatever. But it feels like
I'm
with
jealous of
you,
that kind of a setup, totally.
you'll take out, like, I'm gonna work on with this piece of, you know, maybe it'll be a
Exactly.
modular rack, another time it'll be another thing. Like you're real decisive with the pieces that you break out and jam on, and I
I
think
have a
that's
lot
kind of
of
cool.
I have a lot of ADHD as well, which I think that, probably
No.
helps, like just long focus hours of making samples and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I really just like I need to mix it up. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
just part of who I am, I think. Even when I have like the dopest setup and everything works so good and wow, that was a great setup, like I'll instantly tear it down and start putting something
Does that
else
not get
together.
exhausting sometimes? Like, I just wired my few little pieces up here, and it's like half a day's worth of work. And I'm like,
That's
shit.
see, that's
I
the
forgot what I
interesting,
set out to do, man.
right? That's the interesting thing about Eurorack is that like I can literally just rearrange like everything in any way. It's like Sonic Legos.
Yeah. That Eurorack gets a little exhausting for my
It
ADD,
it
my
does for me
attention
too. It
deficit
does. I try to
disorder.
explain to people like most of us hate to read manuals, right? It
Yeah.
sucks. It's tedious. We just want to go, but like I have to read a manual for every one of these modules. Like
Yeah.
it's not like one box. It's like everything is its own manual. It's so
Yes.
crazy.
A week later, after reading manuals, you could finally get to making music. I've recently started building a Eurorack case over here. I got a Percon's voice, a brains, a little mixer, a
Yeah,
space
that Percon's
effects.
voice is super cool. Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
it's super cool. It's like a Percon's, but you only get the one lane of
Hmm.
sounds. Like, it's really good at doing one thing,
Sure.
maybe
Sure.
two things if you get your patch right. But you know, it's a hell of a kick drum. I'll say that.
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
And it makes a good cowbell. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around the modular world. It's a little different. I do a lot of just plugging things in
Hmm.
randomly and just playing with things randomly. I can get lost in it for days on end and not
Sure, sure.
ever
That's
actually
definitely
make a
some of the
track.
fun part for me is that, I've been doing a lot of like the same routines for many, many years. So to break out of a lot of that was really refreshing. And that's kind of how I got suckered down the Euro rack rabbit hole, which is just endless.
How many cases do you got right now?
Too many. I started out with just a couple, but they sort of got filled up, and then like it felt sort of odd on the desk, like everything spread out and kind
Yeah.
of like not focused. And so I invested in a really large custom case, um, thinking that this is a common theme with anyone doing Eurorack. I think thinking, well, this will get me where I need to be, and then I'll be good. But
Yeah.
I find it's more of just a constant journey than it is like a goal and a destination. Especially, I find that once you've actually invested like way too much money into this, then it actually stops to be as expensive as it used to be, because now you can, just get like one new module and use that
You
to
got
do
like
a
the
lot of
the
different
the
things.
foundation there.
Yeah, exactly. But getting into it, oh my God, it's ridiculously expensive, and
Sweet.
a lot of Eurorack purists might hate me for this, but Eurorack is not a time effective way to make music.
No.
Eurorack is not a cost effective way to make music.
No.
It's just another way to do things. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's better or anything like that. I have tons of tools. I like to use, the tools for what they're good for, and as many different tools as I can, because that's just, what I'm about. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
The only thing that got me started in the Eurorack world was lack of space. Lack of space. Like literally, I got this is supposed to be a bar where people
yeah.
get drunk and hang out and fuck around. But
Hey,
I
bar jams, man. You gotta have a little
yes.
entertainment with your.
Yes. So I got this like little countertop behind me, and that's my entire space. So I think it was Tony Duncan actually kind of triggered me in a way. He was like, "Well, you should go up with it. Go up instead of
Sure,
spread out. Go up." And I was like, and
absolutely. That's what I've done as well here. I wonder if I can just grab this, and I mean this whole room now is basically built with a drum rack up here, and it goes all the way around the studio. And
wow,
as a, I don't have like drums set up anymore in here, so it's kind of cool to have this like drum rack. It sort of feels like home, and it like allows me to mount all this stuff all over it. Like I've got a Euro rack case mounted onto it. My mixer is mounted onto it. This Euro rack case here, I
that's
drilled holes
a
in the
drum
back and
rack or like
mounted
a
that.
Jasper.
What's that? Oh no, it's just like a really standard Gibraltar brand drum tubes, and then I just get whatever uh, attachments I need to
Yeah.
time together, and it just keeps expanding. I've got like the lights coming off of it in the back. I mean, I've got a pole mounted off it with cables being hung up there. I mean, it's very like it's got to go up.
Yep. I would like to see the you ever see that meme? It's Homer Simpson and he looks all fit in the front and it's all tied
Oh,
up in
I've
the
been in the
back.
back. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's how my gear looks in the
I
back
would
for
like to see
sure.
your backside, no pun intended. Show me them wires, baby. um shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. um so what got you started in doing the sample packs and stuff? Like
Well, I mean, it was like back in the day when we were buying those sample packs for like 150 bucks or something, um, and they just weren't that usable. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You'd get a groove put together, and then nothing else on that sample CD would go with what you've put together. And I just started thinking, well, I've got some gear that other people don't have, and we had invested in the 90s in a mini disc recorder. This was
Oh.
before you could record your own CDs. All you could do at that time was record onto audio tape or like DAT tape,
Yeah, yeah, digital
but
audio
you certainly
tapes.
couldn't record on anything digital. So we had mini discs, and we got ourselves a standalone CD burner as well. Now, the combination with a physical hardware mini disc recorder is that you can record in pure digital quality, and then it has an optical light connection on the back for an optical cord, and you can plug that into the CD player and burn absolutely pro quality, CDs at home.
Oh
It
shit.
was very expensive, but we invested in that, and then I was recording all of the sounds out of every piece of gear that I could get my hands on, and burning those my own audio CDs, and I started selling those on eBay, but for like $20, not like $100 where
120.
you would get it and be all disappointed afterwards. And back in the day, nobody was doing this. I mean, it was very early on, in this sort of, not a lot of people had samplers even in those days yet. I met another fellow who was doing the exact same thing that I was doing, and that was Jason Donnelly from Soundtrack Loops. And he's still running Soundtrack Loops with a
Yeah, I've
friend
heard
of
of him.
his. We're like the only two cats from like back in those early 90s who really just took an independent line and said, well, we can do this on our own. Screw these $100, CD people, and we're still doing it. We're still doing it.
Dean, was that a conscious business venture, or was it just like, hey, we can do this,
Well,
let's do it?
It just naturally
a
evolved
lot
that
of
way.
people like know this about me. Like, I'm just very like I'm just like a private little hermit kind of guy. I don't really like leave the house so much,
Snap.
or like at
I
all
know. I was
if I
trying to
can
get you
help
to
it.
come to my lake
Um,
house for my party, but you're like, oh fuck no, I'm not doing
and
it.
this was something that I thought, I can get into this, and then if I'm lucky, have a go at it, make a living from it. And all throughout the 90s and all throughout like the early 2000s, I was the biggest failure ever, and I wasn't making sales. And it was like anybody who like wasn't who isn't me, anybody else would have quit along the way. You know what I mean? And said, this is just stupid. You need to stop spending your time on this. But this is what I do. I mean, I don't have other hobbies and other passions. This is really what I like to do. So I just kind of stuck with it. And then when I finally started teaching on YouTube, then people started realizing, oh, this is, a guy who's, trying to help us and has a lot of, knowledge, and maybe let's check out his samples or whatever. And so my business started actually becoming a business. And then I just, once you're given the opportunity that like maybe doing what you love is like maybe gonna, I don't know, be good for
Work
you,
out.
then I
Yeah.
just went into it hook, line, and sinker with everything in my heart and soul. And this is all I do. This is all I do. I don't do other things. I don't
How
have
long have
other
you been
hobbies.
doing
I,
music professionally?
I'm sorry.
How long have you been doing music stuff professionally?
Since the beginning. I mean, since 1994, I just wasn't
Nice.
successful at it until like maybe 2010, 2015. When I actually started getting known for doing this. Like even now, like people, a lot of people think, oh, I could make sample packs and make some money, and oh my God, good luck with that, because
Yes.
you won't. It's so oversaturated, and I used to only be able to like I I wasn't able to thanks, man. I wasn't able to like build my own website that looked professional. I wasn't able to do like a lot of stuff on my own. Um, and you just have to stick with it. You just have to keep learning and keep trying all of those things. You have to learn how to, do the production. You have to learn how to do all the web stuff and the merchant account. It just goes on and on and on. Um, but
It's
now
a
that I've
business. It's
but
like
now that I've
running a
been
business.
I've been doing it for so long now. This is just it's who I am as a this is me as a person. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people, when you see them and talk to them, you wonder what they're really like in real life. this is what I'm really like in real life. I'm really boring, and I just do this
I
all
wouldn't
day,
say
every
you're
day.
boring. I would say you're boring, but you're definitely a genuine person, and I think it shows through just
Thank
with
you.
your interactions with people and just your work in general.
Yeah, I
It
don't
shows
have
through.
that. I don't have that like ego chip that makes me talk to people strangely. I don't know how
Yeah,
to do that. I can only be real with people. That's all I know how to do.
that's a
I'm
good
blessed for that,
quality.
I think.
That's a good quality, brother. We love you for that. Um, so like with your sample packs and stuff, like I've only experienced the MIDI pack, like I've mentioned a couple times. Like let's say you make a pack for like the tracker or Polyan, any of
Hmm.
the instruments that you make it for. Is that something like the user can load into their piece of kit
Yeah,
and just like
absolutely.
start off
Yeah,
making
my
music?
s- my stuff will typically um, come with sounds that are specifically formatted for whatever box that pack is for, and then also some patterns to get the end user started and get some extra inspiration. And they're welcome to use the patterns to make their own stuff with as well, or just to use them for inspiration. But like you definitely want to sort of give them a really good idea of what's actually in the pack, and not that weird bait and switch stuff where
Yeah.
the demo doesn't sound like the contents.
Yeah. Makes me want to get one. Can you make one for a peak? And can you make one for an SEO2? I got some requests here, D. You said you had been doing music like lessons and stuff, or
I'm
did I?
sorry.
You had mentioned maybe that you've done some music lessons and stuff throughout your
Not
career.
like lessons and stuff, but just what I'm sharing on like YouTube live streams and stuff.
Oh,
Like I
okay,
did,
okay.
like what sort of kind of got me started into the whole YouTube thing was I was watching a bunch of like iOS YouTubers at that time. I was getting into how to use iPad in my music productions as well, and an app came out for iPad that everybody was really hyped about called Beatmaker 3. But
Yeah,
then
I've heard of it.
as it came out, like nobody started making videos on it. And I was playing with it and I thought this is like the coolest thing on iPad. And so I started making videos on it. And then that just kind of took off. And by the end of that, I made like 58 videos on like how to use that app or something.
Damn,
Yeah. And those are still
58.
on my channel. Like if anybody wants to learn how to make music on an iPad, check out my channel.
You're always very informative. I kind of want to like hire you to help me with this.
What's cool now is that we can actually ask the chat GPT about a lot of this stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's a good
literally,
point.
um, like a friend of mine just literally told chat GPT his entire setup and how he wanted it to work uh, with e-
Wow.
with the pieces, and then ask GPT to give him some instruction and guidance on how to make that happen. And it was helpful.
That's a really smart way to use AI, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Maybe I'll just ask ChatGPT what I want with this guy over here.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. My biggest issue is I can't get it communicating with Ableton and my
Yeah, that's a
APC the way I want.
whole pain, boy. I tell you what. In fact, that's one of the only things that I never really accomplished either was like a really tight sync between the hardware and Ableton. After just countless attempts at trying to make that happen, I gave up. I'm not trying to do that. When I need to record something, I'll just record it manually. If I need it to stick to the grid in Ableton later, that's going to be a pain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Art knows.
So
Yeah. Oh
you,
yeah. Gotcha. So Dean, have you got a MIDI clock at all?
Yeah, I have the ERM multi clock, but I don't really use it very often
Did it
because
tighten up
I'm
the grid for you?
yeah I'm really just using, like, I use the hardware more than Ableton these days. I use Ableton like when I'm making my sound banks and samples and stuff. But for me, it's just been messing with the hardware these days.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
once I realized, like, look, the industry's gone, okay? Like, and come on, let's be real, right? Like, nobody's gonna be
Gone.
the next Skrillex. Okay, just let it go and just have fun with the stuff. That's kind of what, like, gave me that freedom to embrace the hardware more. Like, look, if I'm just gonna have fun, then fuck it. I'm gonna use what I want to use, and I'm just gonna have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
I'm not
industry
like
is
trying
really
to get
gone.
like some big record contract or anything.
Yeah, the industry is really gone. I have a few friends that are trying to make it, professionally with music, doing
Hmm.
gigs and making albums and stuff like that. And just just in my chats with them, I mean, it's fucking like an uphill battle constantly.
It's a lot of work. It is
Yeah,
so much work, and at the end of the day, we all just kind of want the same thing, and that's for someone to listen to what we've made. That's one of the reasons why I love the URL so much. Is like everybody's like making stuff and
yes.
going, listen to what I've made, and we're out here going, yes, feed it to us. We will
Give me
listen to what
more.
you've made. Bring it on.
I know
There's not a
that
lot of
about.
places that can
There's
offer any,
not.
but that kind of attention span.
That in with the positive vibes too. It's the
Yeah,
positive
man.
vibes of the URL. There's places out there, but like it
Sure.
it
I
feels
don't.
more like a factory churning and
Yeah,
burning
I don't
people
feel
out.
like it's competition in the
No.
URL. I feel like it's friends helping friends, and we all want to see everybody do good. And when somebody does good, I see the whole base just
Yeah.
rallying around that and like,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, it's like a family.
It really is
I
like a
love it.
family. I can't explain the feeling I get from the URL. I'm not as active as far as posting tracks and stuff.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
That's kind of why I started this whole interview thing, is just like trying to still contribute to the group,
Sure,
but
sure.
because I know like I'm not putting a lot of music out, I'm not doing this and that and blah blah blah. But when I put a track into the URL, there's this euphoria around it too. Like
Yeah,
I can't wait for my track to play. I'm like, I get the
totally.
sweats. I have a panic poop before my track plays, and then when it plays, all the feedback that comes in, I'm like riding this dopamine or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
It's cool.
Absolutely.
It's cool. It gives a platform for just to hear it. It gets it out of just my head, and other people get to hear it,
For sure.
and it's special. There's nothing like that out there.
I realized early on that one shitty comment can outdo 100 good comments. So it's like, let's keep this all positive, review it in a good
Absolutely.
way, make sure that everybody is, happy with it, with everything, make sure it's constructive criticism. You can think it's shite, but don't
Yeah,
say
for
it's shite.
sure.
Tell
For
me
sure.
why.
Why?
Yeah.
That's the
That's
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it takes a lot of work, to actually sit there and put stuff together. And it's not super easy to share that with people, especially these days, because let's be real, the internet is not exactly the most friendly, welcoming place out there. So to have
Unfortunately,
a spot where everybody is that way, that's pretty magic. It's
it
pretty
really is,
magic.
man. It really is. And kudos to Mark for listening to hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of music.
Absolutely.
About 10,000 tracks in the past 8 years. Rough
That's
guidance,
crazy.
Is that it? Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
it's a ridiculous amount of tracks. It really, really is.
You
And
gotta
yeah,
be
it,
pushing a Guinness Book World Record thing here, man.
Potentially, yeah. But yeah, it is. We are a close knit family, and keeping everybody, positive and happy is the most important thing. If you're positive and
Absolutely.
happy, chances are you're going to make music more, and that's what we want, right?
Sure.
One thing I love about the community as a whole is like just me as a person. Sometimes I go into these random depressive moods, and
We all do that.
there
Yeah.
might not be a reason. It's just part of me and who I am, But I can be like, guys, I'm feeling shit. I'm feeling like shit. I feel like shit. I'm useless. I could just be like having the biggest pity party in the world, and they'll just pick me up. They'll just pick
Yeah.
me up and put me in a nice place, and I come out of it like, oh yeah, okay, everything's gonna be all right.
We
It's
all,
really a form of therapy.
I think we all go through that. I mean, I know I certainly still do, like when I'm trying to write something and maybe it's not my best day ever, and suddenly it's like, this is shit. Everything is shit. You're shit.
Yeah.
You suck. I mean, I go through that all the time too. Like back in the day, I always kind of like had a, a thing in my mind that was like, I'll feel a certain way as a human being when I get to where I want to be, maybe.
That's not
Um,
realistic, though.
I feel like I'm pretty much where I wanted to be a long time ago, but I don't really like the feelings that I expected to feel, and like the emotions and mental state that might have gone along with that.
Right.
They don't really. That's something that you have to work on a daily basis.
It's a
It
constant.
doesn't just come, naturally.
But I think that's huge you saying that too, because I think a lot of people, we see people that we idolize or whatever online, and we kind of had this fantastical image of them. But it brings it back
Hmm.
to we're all human. We're all human. We all
Absolutely. I
go through
put
the
my
same
pants on
things,
one leg at a time.
one leg at a time. We all feel similar things and stuff. So I think it's huge. Just bring it back to reality.
I love
Also.
being a part of this too, because like there are so many people in this group of people that are so talented that when
Oh
I
my
listen
God.
back to their tracks on the URL, I'm just like humbled. I'm like, I'm never gonna be that good. I'm never gonna hit that hard. I'm never gonna hit that clean. Like, and I want to be in that space. I don't want to be in the space where I'm 100% happy with everything, because then what's the goal then? I want to
Yeah.
always be trying to
What are you working
sound better
towards?
and get better, and the URL helps me with that because I'm jealous of other people's production skills,
Yep. Yep. Like,
sure.
how the hell did they do that?
I am so shocked to hear you say that, Dean. 100%. Because
I think a
anything,
lot of people feel that way, like,
yeah,
but I'm not at all. I totally struggle all the time. I think,
because
a lot of my output is just garbage. You have to just do what it is that you do and enjoy what
yeah,
other people do
yeah,
without letting it affect who you
Yep.
are.
yeah,
You just have to
absolutely.
enjoy it for them.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely, absolutely. Again, keep people positive. Yeah, like if you see somebody doing something that you're really envious about, don't be green-eyed about the whole thing. Be happy for them.
Exactly.
It's like that's a really
Exactly.
good track. That is a really good
Exactly.
Yep.
track. You're doing really well. Even though I'm struggling to just put a kick drum together.
Yeah, I love to
Get a
see
perk on
people
voice.
succeed in anything, but the URL is a specifically interesting thing because if you're there every Tuesday and you're listening to the progression, hear my finger going, of these
Yep.
artists, it's amazing. Like, let's take DJ Shade. He's gotten a ton better in the last few months since I've been listening to his tracks on the
Yep.
URL. Let's take the sound of James. Holy shit, are you kidding me? These
You
people
literally
are
can watch
leveling up
them
like on a
level up, level
weekly
up, level up.
basis, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
one
what I
hundred
want to
percent.
be a part of. That type of energy where people are really passionate about what they're doing and trying to better what their output is as well. How can you not want to be a part of that,
For
right?
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
For real. So I'm gonna ask you the age-old question: how do you know when you've finished a song? When do you know?
That's a
Like,
really great
I'm
question.
done.
For me, I actually have an answer for this, but I don't think
Oh
it's
shit.
probably going to be the same as most people's answer. I just know, like, you might be working on a track and you might get up in the morning and you might think, today I'm going to work on this track all day long and I'm going to put in the hours. And then maybe you do like one or two tweaks and then you just go, oh, fuck, it's done. Wait,
That's good.
it's done. And then suddenly, I just know, like, and more so that I know when it's done, I know when it's not done. That I think
Yes.
is even more important. Like
Yes.
that one little thing right there, I've just got to fix that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's really important not to get hung up on those details. I really
Yeah.
have to
Do you?
constantly remind myself, kind of as a perfectionist, um, like what uh, what can I possibly hope to get out of this, and is it worth the time that I'm
The effort,
spending
yeah.
on these details, or maybe I just need to let it go so I can move on to the next thing. You know what I mean?
Do you ever find yourself, I know I certainly do. Do you ever find yourself like down that rabbit hole of, I don't know, maybe you're fucking with the EQ, you're fucking with the compression, you know, you're like playing with these things that potentially nobody else will notice, but
Of
it's
always,
there for
yes,
you. Yeah?
always, yeah. I mean,
How do you stop
EQ,
yourself when you're
EQ
down that?
specifically, I think is the most important effect. I love reverb, I love all that stuff, but without EQ, you can't build the foundation that you need. You can't get your sounds to,
The
juxtapose
frequency's
against
sitting
each other
right and
correctly. So I'll spend way too much time. In fact, this might be an interesting transition to share with you guys what I've been up to. Um, Trying to figure out how to get this into a short story and not a super long story.
no, you can
But
tell us a
uh,
long story.
I read on Facebook, a lot of people started saying how they were getting Chat GPT to help them make apps, to code for them. Now, I don't know
Right.
anything about coding, but I have a really big imagination, and I have a big knowledge of what I would like my tools to do, or I have a really succinct knowledge of what my tools don't do as well.
Right.
And so, what I've been up to for the last few months is I've been up to getting Chat GPT to help me create software that enhances my workflow in here. And I tell it
Oh,
what I want, and I have it do the coding for me, and then we do all this testing and back and forth, and it takes a few days. But I've now created six musical apps with Chat GPT so far. I
oh
created an
shit.
app that can read a folder of files and put the note number in the name if there's only MIDI information in that file name. So like logic stuff, stupid stuff that takes me hours to do as a sound designer. I made an app that will take a single cycle waveform that I made, like a custom single cycle waveform, and it will lay that across the keyboard and use that as an oscillator and export every note of the keyboard as a synthesizer sound using that
Oh
oscillator.
wow.
I've made an app that will take my single cycle waveforms and process them through music theory logic, and I can
Right.
type in a key, and I can have the app create chords in that key using my single cycle oscillator as the waveform.
And
Then I made
ChatGPT
another.
helped you with all this.
Uh, I'm just Me and Chat GPT are just hanging out like homies and coding apps together. I mean, I'm
I love
serious.
it.
That's what I'm doing. It's crazy. I made an app that can take my multi-sampled sounds that I produce and then create sets of chords out of those. And then most recently, I've been working on a new sequencer app that does specifically the kinds of things that I need as a sound designer, which is allowing me to write from scratch a whole bunch of musical content and then export that, which I can use for live stuff, or I can use for my sample packs. And that's what I've been
Wow.
doing for the last few weeks. I designed with ChatGPT basically like a Dean DAW, where I uh, I I came up with a way to write notes, and so I have 9 tracks, but I can put samples on and then
Wow.
arrange those out. So and then I can use that to create lots of content for my sample packs and stuff. But it's not AI based. There's no AI in the
In
app at
it.
all. It can only produce the stuff that I actually write by hand. Um,
Right.
and what I've done is I've created, um, using this notation system that I invented and implemented in the app. I've written 30 bass lines and 30 top loops in a house music genre. And I'm using these to build the foundation of my Clownfest set that I'm
That's
working
fucking
on.
awesome,
So
dude.
if we change the camera angle here and we take a look at what's on the desk, I've got a Roland MC707 here, which really isn't going to be used in this example. I've got some Eurorack over here, some Eurorack over here. I've got the Poly-End Tracker Mini, and I've got a little MIDI controller here. But the key to this setup is that I've taken the samples that I've written and created in this app that I made with ChatGPT, and I write the parts together so that like the bass lines will match up with the rhythmics of the top lines and stuff. And then I export all of those files into these Eurorack samplers. So this is the 1010 Music Bitbox Micro Sampler, and this is the same sampler but in black. And I have the 30 top loops over here in this sampler, and I have the 30 bass lines over here in this sampler. Now, this is where I really like Eurorack, because you can create these type of setups that will allow you to do whatever it is that you want to do. So these samples are on one track. It's a sample chain where there are, 30 slices in that chain. I'm sorry if I'm getting too geeky for some people. And then I can assign an external input on the sampler to scroll through those 30 loops. And all I have to do is move one of these faders. Now, that sounds like a whole lot of information. Let me actually show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and play this groove here. Let's count it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 2. Okay, so there's the 1. All right. So I can choose which loops are playing just by moving these two faders here. Listen for the downbeat. Bassline just changed. Top loop just changed. Let's do that again. Bassline just changed. Top loop just changed. If I don't touch anything, it'll ride this groove. If I touch either one of these faders, it will scroll to another one of the 30 loops. Here we go. We just changed the bassline and the top loop. So this is how I've been building the foundation for my Clownfest set. I'll use the Poly-End Tracker to get some melodic sounds on top of these grooves, and I can keep the foundation of my groove moving forward at any time by just moving the sliders. I can do one more thing, and that's I can filter down the top loop for just to kind of tuck it back in the mix. That can be useful for transitions. Now I fade it back up again. So I just count it out in my head, and so I'll know when it needs to change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. Hear that riser? And 4. Let's push the knobs. And at any time, I can return to that default state by pulling these all the way down. And then this is sort of like a default position to be in. And then I would be able to play some stuff live over the top of it. I don't have that set up yet because I've just been building the foundation. But I love that you can push these and it won't change until that downbeat. Here the top loop just changed and the bass loop just changed, and all I'm doing is moving these sliders. The thing with a setup like this is that it takes a lot of time to sit down and create these loops. It's taken me like 3 days to sketch all these out and notate them. But once you do that, right? Endless variations. That's what I'm talking about. So this is how I'm going to work with the foundation of my set. And then I'll add more melodic stuff, maybe like put a vocal sample somewhere. But I can just keep that motion going by just, all I have to do is move a couple of faders around. And let's see here. And so that's kind of the stuff that I'm talking about when I talk about, like, I want to mess around with new workflows. I try to come up with ideas that will let me do these really robust things to create a lot of different options, and take my mind maybe like off of the arrangement, and then I can just worry about like the other like melodic elements on top of that foundation.
Dean, have you seen this anywhere else? Have you seen anybody else doing this? Is this totally new to you?
This is something that I totally just kind of thought of, and I like when I explain, I really don't want to come off the wrong way, like some sort of, I'm sure, because I'm not at all.
No, do it. Embrace it. Do it.
When when I explain to ChatGPT how I want to use these tools that we're creating, I blow ChatGPT's mind, and it gets excited with me, and it wants to help me build these tools. I explained to it like how much time the tools that we build are saving me, and how important that is, like as a professional sound designer, and it gets right in there with me. I talk to it like I talk to anybody. I use emojis and emotions and to really convey what I need to convey, and it talks back to me in that same exact way. It's like nothing I've ever experienced.
That whole ecosystem that you've got going on there is a jammer's delight.
Yeah.
And like it really is.
The simplicity of it alone.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that you have to, these systems, they take so much time to set up, but that's the goal, is that once you've created something like this, then it becomes really easy to perform with it. And that's where I try to go, because like if I want to like maybe play a synth solo or whatever, I can just reach over and push a fader and keep playing, you know what I mean? So the arrangement can keep going no matter what else I'm doing. And if I have to focus on the arrangement the whole time, that's not going to give me the time to have my brain allow me to touch the other pieces of gear, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you have plans to release this piece of software?
That was my next question.
Yeah, I'll let you go, Eric.
I wish I could show to you guys on the stream, is the thing. It's on my PC. It's not on my Mac. But basically, like, let me see if I can just pull up. It's not user friendly, basically, because it doesn't work in real time. You have to like write the notation, like the code per se. I can't get the camera quite far enough. That's all I can show. Fuck. Anyways, it's like a whole bunch of lines, and on those lines I write numbers and letters, and all those numbers and letters mean things like, hey, you should play the sample, but you should play it backwards, or you should play the sample from the folder that's assigned to this track, but pull a random sample. It does all sorts of weird stuff, and then you have to just run the app and it processes that. You can't hear anything in real time. And it's a very strange, interesting way of putting things together that makes 100% sense to me.
But I don't think anybody else out there is doing that kind of thing right now. Nobody I've known. I think people are. I think that's like the next big thing, is because I keep seeing more and more people saying, "Hey, I used ChatGPT to help me create a software for me." I think we're going to see, like, that's going to be like huge. Everyone's going to be using it to try to create their own software. I think that's huge versus like people using it to create the music for them. There's a lot of that going on out there. I think that's a very progressive way of of thinking about things, using that GPT as a tool to help you create other tools to help you make the music,
Exactly.
you know? Versus
I
just like, hey, GPT, make a song for me, you know? It's fucking huge, man. So, when you finally get that all sorted out and stuff, I'll be able to buy the software on your website or what?
Yeah, no. See, it's I don't really plan on selling this because I really don't think that other people would enjoy using it, and I thought long and hard sort of about it, and if I was to go down that road, it's gonna really change me into like a software developer and not a sound designer at the end of the day, and I'd rather be a sound designer at the end of the day.
Right,
Than
right,
I don't
right.
want to like have to teach people how to, then you have to deal with everybody's requests. So I need it to work this way, or I need
Yeah.
it to, I
It's a
just,
little muddy, huh?
but I'm really, really, like supportive of people using chat gpt to help them build things that they can use, so that, like, I think that's a really good way to use ai,
So do you
like,
think if
for
I told
sure.
ChatGPT like, "Hey, how the fuck do I get my APC to sequence these
You literally
guys?"
ask it that exact question, and it will help you. Like, you can tell it, hey, I need help with this, and I need you to search forums online. I need you to go to the depths and figure this out for me. You've got to, like, literally explain what you want it to do, and it will do that.
That's fucking insane in
It's
the world we're
really, it's
living in.
really crazy.
I keep hearing all these stories on NPR about how my simple search on ChatGPT, I could be like having a conversation with somebody and I'm like, fuck, how do I word this thing? And I ask it a question. Every single question that a person asks ChatGPT takes an insane amount of energy to produce.
I'm
That's the big
familiar
thing
with
I
this
keep
too, and
hearing
that's
about.
probably not going to be real good for the environment, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll sort it out eventually where it's more
I hope so,
efficient.
but to be honest, with the way they're doing things in this country right now, I don't think they're gonna sort it out.
Yeah, there is that. There is that.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna go down that road, so I'm not. But I'm telling you, whoo.
Yeah, buddy. It's an interesting time we live in. Fuck. um so with all the stuff that you have, all the tools that you have, do you have a preferred like are do you prefer like analog, digital? Do you
I
for
don't really
the
prefer
computer over
analog
hardware?
over digital, or any of that. I mean, I just kind of like it all. Um, I definitely am blessed in that, I have way too much gear than like anybody would ever need. Like, nobody needs this amount of gear. I tell myself, you're a sound designer, you need the gear, blah 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 blah. But you certainly don't. But I'm very, very, very blessed to have, the kind of options that I do have, and be able to, pull out a different piece of gear for a different project, or
Yeah.
rearrange the Eurorack stuff like Sonic Legos, or you know, I I
I love my Sonic
I
Legos.
I definitely, like, I'm grateful every day that I get to do this. I know a lot of people would love to do this kind of stuff with their time, spend as much time doing this as possible, and I feel really, really lucky, that I stuck with it long enough to, to be able to make it viable in the end.
So my next question is, will you adopt me? I am a very nice houseplant. I will dust. I will mop the floors, whatever you need. You just gotta let me play with some synthesizers every now and then. I think it's a pretty fair deal, honestly.
I wish that there was more, like, members of the clown army that were local to me, because there just, kind of aren't.
I can only think of one other person out
Yeah,
in
I know, like, Vladdy
Vladimir.
is in
Yeah,
California, but he's like 3 or 4 hours from me.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of the same situation I'm in. But I have more people near me, but they're all like 3 or 4 hours away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it'd be super cool to, like, get to hang out with some of the, URL people here, But yeah, everybody's just too far away.
Do a West Coast meetup.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that ain't happening. Oh Lord, I'm gonna do a meetup in May. In May here at my little lake house situation.
Yeah, I would
got.
love to do stuff like that. I don't really travel is the thing. And I have a little scooter, but like I don't even drive cars is the thing. So like it's very difficult for me to like sort of adventure around in that way. Because like I could fly, but like once I get there, like I'm gonna do what? Like take cabs or walk? I don't
I'll
know.
come pick you up, dude. I'll come pick you up. You can ride with me. I'm a bad driver, though. So put your seatbelt on. Oh Lord. So, is there like a favorite tool right now that you got?
Yeah,
That's
for
like
sure.
your
I mean,
go-to,
if I'm
like
gonna,
you're just obsessed with it right now.
like if I'm gonna just grab something, like right now, my first choice to make music with would be the Poly-In Tracker Plus. Because it loads full stereo samples and not mono only like the original tracker. Um, it's kind of a weird workflow that some people don't gel with because like it's scrolling the stuff up and down instead of left to
Right.
right. But once you get used to that, I think it's like the easiest tool to use, really, because there's enough options to get stuff made, but not so many options that you're gonna get lost in those.
Overwhelmed
And
or
every single other thing I have has more of those kind of options, and you're gonna, spend more time fussing around with the sound than actually making stuff. And
right.
the Tracker Plus for me is like scaled down, or the Tracker Mini. Um, uh, they're you just scaled down in such a way that like it's everything you need, but nothing you don't, kind of in a way.
Nice. I've been looking. There's a few polyend modules out
Hmm.
there. What do you think about those?
Well, I mean, there's like they have a new pedal with like that syncs like beat synced effects and stuff. But to be honest, I've had some like not the best time with Poly-In's MIDI clock. So like that one specifically, I love those kind of effects like beat synced and tempo synced effects. But because of the problems I've had specifically with the MIDI clock on Poly-In stuff, I'm not super convinced that that would like be what I need. I do have their drum machine in a pedal, the Poly-In
Ooh,
Step, but I bought that just to make sound banks for, not as something that I really want to use. And that's another like weird like mental block that I get in here a lot of times is I might buy something specifically to make sound banks for, and then I'll make a bank or two for it, and then it just kind of sits around and doesn't get used because I bought it to make sound banks for, not really to use it. Sometimes
right,
it's hard for me to sort of separate me as a sound designer and me as a musician, and I might
right.
feel guilty, like I'm not writing enough music, and I've got all these tools. So I still get down on myself about that, even though I'm using this stuff for electronic sounds and sound design. It's weird.
Do you ever like? Do you keep those things that you don't necessarily
It's a
use
square,
forever?
Tollington Square, all the way. Square for the win. Sorry.
Square. I do like a good square win.
It's hip
Yes.
to be square.
I'm gonna use that line. It's hip to be square. Do you ever like when you get those like different pieces of kit that is mainly for like building a sample pack or like sound design purposes or whatnot? Do you keep them, or do you
I
eventually
do.
do you get rid of gear, or do you just hoard it forever?
I do. I am an absolute hoarder. I've sold a few things, and I do feel good like when I sell something that really just isn't getting used. But I always kind of worry in the back of my mind, like, oh, what if I need that down the road? And
Yeah.
I have a hard time getting rid of stuff. I When I started, like we were so poor, and like just I didn't have like any gear at all. And so sometimes, to be honest with you, like I know people probably look at a room like this and think, God, I would just sit there and be like, oh, fuck. And I do sit here sometimes and just go, oh, God, oh, fuck. Like when I'm trying to close the door at night and like go to bed, sometimes there's just those minutes when you're just standing in there and going, God, look what I built. I mean, this has
Yeah.
taken years. And I've been
Yep.
in this studio now for like 8 years. And I
Wow.
finally feel like it's really, like a functional place to work. Getting this drum rack around the room where I can really start building up, like we talked about,
Yep.
that's really, been a big thing to start getting more of the gear organized instead of just cluttering the desk all the time.
Yeah.
And I always have stuff like on shelves or in the closet or it's
I
cool. I mean, it's cool to have like a bunch of gear, but at the end of the day, it makes you feel weird. It makes you feel weird that you've got stuff that like you're not using. It's weird,
I have that.
and
I've
you've got to kind of
recently
I've got to balance that with that whole like realization. Like you're a sound designer. This is what you do. So I got to be okay with it. But it still makes you feel weird for sure. Like you open the closet, there's like a Roland
just
SPO4
shit
in there, and
falls
I'm like,
out.
but I'm not even using that. Like it's weird.
I've recently started selling some of the older kit that I have that I'm not using anymore,
Hmm.
and I've made it a point to try and sell it for cheap to people around the clown army that
That's cool.
that maybe don't have the same financial
Yeah,
situation I have, and they need like a starter kit and stuff. Like
yeah.
recently, I won't name drop them, but recently, there's a rapper kind of person in the clown army, and I sold him my old interface, some old microphones and stuff because like they couldn't afford it, and it just keeps
Yeah.
sitting there
This stuff
gaining
is crazy
dust.
expensive, like ridiculous. And that's the thing is most of us aren't really, making financial return from these investments. It's a
No.
pain sometimes. It's a pain
No,
sometimes.
no, I've exhausted my Christmas, my birthday, my Hanukkah, whatever you want to say. I've exhausted all of my gift seasons on kit so far this year. So I won't be having a Christmas this year. Just say that it's all sitting behind
Yeah,
me.
you'll be turning the perk-ons for Christmas. It's
Yeah,
dun, dun,
yeah. I'll have the sickest kick drum ever.
dun.
Hey, that Percons has a really cool rumble effect it adds to everything.
Mhm.
Like even just I keep saying it's a kick machine because it does a sick kick, but it has this super cool techno rumble to it as well. I
Yeah,
love
I
that
love
thing.
the Eric Ascent stuff. I've got
Oh my god,
way
me
too
too.
much of it here. I absolutely love their stuff. I really like their Eurorack sequencers, like the big sequencers.
Feet picks, fuck you. No, I love Erica Since too. I wish I could afford more. Like
I
I'm
do
kind
too.
of
They have
looking
this new
for
steam pipe out that makes
yeah.
flute sounds that sound like a real flute. Oh my God, I want it so bad.
I played with the steam pipe at a synthesizer convention, the New
Oh,
English
I'm jealous. I
Synthesizer
haven't.
Festival, and I played with it for a good 15-20 minutes.
That
It's
thing sounds so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's awesome. I'm kind of jealous. Recently, I'm kind of cool with Sarah Summers and stuff, and recently she went to the Erica Sense headquarters in
Oh, that's cool.
I forget the country's name. It's not
Latvia, I think.
Latvia.
Yeah,
Yep. She did a show there, and they hosted her at the fucking headquarters and
that's
stuff. And
sick.
I'm
Wow.
like, oh my god,
Yeah,
snag me a couple modules while you're there,
totally.
please, please. I'm totally jealous, but she got to play with some stuff that's in prototype still, and I'm like,
That's
fuck
wild.
me,
Yeah.
man.
See, that's the thing, though. Some people are having to go. There are some people who are having to go. Sarah's doing great. My friend Travarsi is playing all over the place as
Travarsi,
well,
yeah,
too. Some people are definitely, still out there. But I
yeah.
mean, it's not like it used to be. But I mean,
It's a tough game out there, man. It's a tough game.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to do the touring and
No,
gigging and
I
all of
wouldn't
that.
either. I wouldn't either.
Well, to be fair, for a lot of us, the whole ethos of this is just getting out on stage. I don't care whether I'm getting paid or not for it. You know, I just want to be on stage. You know, that's where my passion is being on stage. Like, you know, even if I'm just getting petrol money.
You guys are getting paid for this?
Petrol money, and that is literally it, and a couple of drinks at the bar.
Fuck's sakes.
Our interviewee is
over here. My dog's
disappeared.
over here fucking trying to tangle up in the cords and rip my headphones off. I had to shoo him away. Yeah, but it's a really hard industry, and I feel like it's a bit of a good old boys club too, you know?
Way too long. Way too long. We need to have some of the feminine vibes, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I do the Electronic Sounds showcase shows, it's so hard to find like a female performer who's like got the time to participate. It's a sausage fest out here.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, you just took me back by the sausage fest comment. It is, though. It really is. And I get a little behind the scenes, you know. I'll use Sarah as an example. Me and her kind of cool or whatever. You know, I get a little bit of behind the scenes and stuff. And it's actually kind of almost rigged against females in a way, you know. Like, they have to work a lot harder than guys do.
Yeah,
And
for
it's kind
sure.
of crazy,
For
you
sure.
know? If you're not out there selling sex symbol stuff, you know,
And
you
the
gotta work
flip
10 times harder.
Yeah, but the flip side of that is if females use their sexuality to promote it, then they get called like promiscuous and stuff, and it's like, hey, use
They get
whatever.
slut shamed.
Yeah, literally, it's like use whatever you've got to be able to do it. I mean,
Hey,
Clownfest 15
if
is
I had
coming
some
up.
nice titties, I would be
Yeah,
showing them off too.
shit, same, you know.
Dean, show us the boobies.
We have 125 artists for Clownfest 15, and I think there are 4 girls within in the whole thing. I want more girls to be involved in this. I really do. You know.
We gotta get, we gotta get like a theme
Listen to
to
Elsa.
the why not girls or whatever. They're like
Hashtag it, get it
fantastic.
trending. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 4 females in all of Clownfest, Mark. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. The ones I can think of off the top of my head are Mel Cook, Sibby, and there are a couple of Sassy Floof Carver.
Baby.
Hey?
Juicy Baby.
And Juicy Baby.
And Justine, we got Justine Gould.
Yeah, it's Justin.
Yeah.
I really
She's
like her sets.
she's not involved in Clownfest this time, right? I don't know why.
Ah,
Yeah, I know. But
She
yeah, it-
cracks me up so much.
come on, Justine, get a set in. We need it. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Where are
I'm
you?
sure we could squeeze her in.
Specifically, get the set in now.
I keep seeing her videos and stuff with her ever-growing setup. Come on, girl, come on.
And
Oh, Lord.
she is doing some wonderful things with the SH4D at the moment as well.
I know.
Like
it makes
so
me.
much.
She makes me
The
want
sounds
one.
out of that SH4D are shit hot, you guys.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
actually, that's one of the things too that I was still worried about. I don't necessarily learn like every new box I get. I might just, control it with MIDI from an external box. And I
Right.
don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's how I use
Nope.
the SH4D as well. Like I didn't learn its workflow. I'm just using it for the sounds. But the sounds in that SH4D are like killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the Electribe we wanted.
Yes,
You know,
it's
it's-
very
it's
similar.
so
it's
close.
it's got that vibe.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I may end up swapping it out for the MPC one. Who knows?
That's kind of a teaser. I think that's gonna happen, eh? I Justine single-handedly makes me want the SH, yeah. But I don't need any more equipment. I need to figure out what I got here and make my Clownfest set. Damn it. So Dean, you recently did the remix challenge. How did that come to light? And how do you?
Oh God, that was a blast. Like to be honest with you, I just
Also,
thought it
how
would
do you
be.
score? How do you score? Like you got these connections with like native instruments and maybe Korg, was it?
Yeah, I mean,
for the
I
gifts
just
and stuff,
basically
for the
scored it
giveaways?
on like creativity and like the production quality and stuff like that. That was a really. I used to do remix contests a lot back in the day. But like back in the day, if you tried to like host that on your commercial website per se, for the duration of you running a remix contest, there would be no sales because people would come to your website, download the free samples for the remix contest, and that would be, the extent of it.
Yeah.
But I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I thought it would be really fun and really cool to get to hear a bunch of people's individual take on like the dubby sounds that I love to make.
Right.
And it was so fun to listen to the entries. In fact, both of the first and second place winners were drum and bass entries. So like, anybody that can like take like the pack of samples and then create something that still sounds like those samples but also sounds like them, that's really, really cool. So it was really, really fun to host that and to listen to what everybody did. There was actually some people who were really creative in their entries and did neat stuff like changing the tempos during the track and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so definitely
I'm a
kudos
little
to
disappointed.
everybody who participated.
I'm a little disappointed that I kind of latched on to the remix challenge like a week before it went live, and I was ignorant. I didn't realize it was a week to go, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Dean, give me the sample pack." Then it was like, "Oh fuck, I got 7 days to do this." So I have a song for you, but I never submitted it.
Well, yeah, send it over. I'd love to hear it.
It probably sounds like ice cream truck music, honestly.
That's okay.
You've done you got your electronic. If I fuck the name up, kick me. But the electronic showcase and stuff. How many of those have you done so far?
I've done 4 of those now.
4?
The thing with those specials on YouTube, is it's a weird phenomenon, but it's like whenever you do something on YouTube, if you do that same thing again, you're gonna get less views, and then if you do that same thing again, you're gonna get less views, and if you do that same thing again, you're gonna get less views. So each of the showcases, I've gotten progressively less views, even though the quality of the talent on those showcases has gone up and up and up.
And up.
Yeah.
Is that ever discouraging, getting less and less views? Do
For
you ever
sure,
get caught
yeah,
up in the
absolutely.
numbers?
It's discouraging. I mean, I love this music thing so much. I want everyone to love it like I do and want to be a part of it and like want to feel that excitement from other people making music and all that stuff. But those days aren't quite like they used to be. So we just got to take what we can now. You know what I mean?
Any gear that considers a complete turd or unreliable? Oh, that's a question for you.
That is a good question. I get on with like everything really. The only thing that really I can remember specifically that I got and didn't gel with at all were the modal sculpt samplers. They were little, not samplers, synthesizers. That was like 7 years
Really?
ago though.
I get a lot of
pretty
good
much gel with
feedback about
everything
those.
is the thing. Yeah.
I hear a lot of good things about the modal stuff. I mean,
Yeah, see, that's just it. Other people really
It's-
liked those, but they just didn't do it for me. They
They
were
didn't vibe?
strange to sound design. They have an app that you would use on the iPad to kind of program it. It just kind of was fussy for me. I haven't played that TR-1000 yet, but everything I've heard come out of it sounds great. I'm not sure I'm really about that price tag, but
yeah, that's the
I don't
big
know.
thing.
I
Is
mean,
the
that price tag
there.
is just crazy, considering that you can get, an MC707 or like a TR8S for like nothing compared to that. I mean, you could get a MC707 and a Percons, for example, or I mean, I don't know. The price on that is just like, whew,
Yeah, it kind of
that's
takes
a
your
whole
breath
other
away a
kettle
little
of
bit.
fish. Now, the Octatrack is easy for me to answer because I had one for like a month, but NASA called and they wanted their alien tech back, so I had to send that back. Nothing I could do. I absolutely did not gel with the Octatrack. I did one jam with it. I really love that jam, but like as a box itself, the Octatrack, oh my goodness. Yeah, it was
See, I have a hard time with
it was the opposite of user friendly to me.
I have a hard time with the Electron workflow as a whole. Like I had a chance, I think it was Richard Lambo. I went and hung out with him at his house in his studio a year or two back, and he has quite a few Electron
I love
devices.
the
And
Digitac,
I
like the Digitac. This
struggle
again is
with
a
it.
sample-based thing. That's my thing. I have an analog four in the closet. I have an MK1 analog rhythm in the closet as well, but I'm just not really using them these days.
No!
But the Digitac specifically, boy, that's who the Digitac 2, where it loads the full
Yeah,
stereo samples and has extended memory. Oh my God, yeah.
yeah.
If it loads samples, I'm about it. I mean, that's just as
A
simple
sample
as
boy,
that,
eh?
really.
A sample boy. I love sample manipulation too.
Hmm.
Actually, we've had a couple that I kind of spearheaded clown army challenges
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
past with they're always kind of the ones I come up with, they're always kind of sample based, like
Hmm.
take this noise, manipulate it, make a track out of it. You know,
Sure,
we did
sure.
like circus sounds. I think we did a Ventures Brother clip one time.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did the cartoon one.
yeah,
I didn't do the kitchen sample challenge.
that one was my favorite. It was so fun. Uh, everybody at my house was looking at me crazy because I
Right?
was like with a microphone slapping stuff and just like, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing, Eric?" um, so what do you find the most difficult part of making music for you when you make a track?
Melodics. For
Melodics?
me, as a drummer, like melodics have always been tough for me, and like I'm not embarrassed to admit that. Like I'll use, cheat sheets or scale mode or like whatever it takes to get the job done. Like I can't just sit down at a piano and just go, this is a banging chord
Bam, bam, bam,
progression.
bam.
Like I
Yeah,
can't
no,
do that. I can do a little bit of soloing on synthesizers, but like when it comes to theory and chords, that is my weak suit, a hundred
yeah.
percent. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I have to admit I use the scale mode in Ableton a
Sure.
lot. I'll turn that
I
sucker
just
on and be like, "Oh God, look how
but
far off
but
you
see, I
are."
don't I don't get down on anybody for that. Like I don't care if you use scale mode. I don't care if you're, using samples that you didn't make. Just make something. Like at the
That's
end
the
of the
key.
day, like just make something. That's what it's about.
That's the key. That's the key. I know the I worked with Fanatic 12,000 and we did our transatlantic funk stuff.
Hmm.
Quite a few albums we made together, but every time he's a guy that knows his music theory, right?
Yeah, he's
Ev-
really, really talented.
Yeah, he's insane. But every time I would send him a Ableton project, I'd be like, "All right, I got this idea. It's sick." He'd be like, "Okay, it's kind of cool, but it's a mess. Let me fix it for you here." He would send it back, and I'd be like, "Oh, damn, I'm that far off, huh?" But melodics, but that also you kind of come from a rhythmic background as a
Yeah, for
drummer and
sure.
stuff
Rhythmics
too.
is
So,
definitely like my strong suit.
when did you first start playing drums?
Like when I was like 5, like
Holy
really
shit!
young, like pots and pans, like you couldn't keep me away. And then like my mom's boyfriend bought me an actual drum set, and then it was just on. You know what I mean?
It's like
I'm
game
a
over.
really I'm a little dude. Like I'm only 5'7". I'm not a big dude, but
What?
I play the drums like a mother. And like I would break drums and break sticks, and I really play the drums aggressively. And like that was a really, really like good time. I used to play in like hard rock bands in high school and stuff, and just because you don't have a like the guitarist, the bassist will just turn their amp up, and you got to compete
You
with
gotta
that.
like
The only way you can do it
physically.
is just whack them. So yeah, that was good times. Yeah, it was good times.
Bass daddy. Mark, play Freebird for me, will you?
No.
Come on. Play Smoke on the Water, will you?
Get out.
Shit. I used to sneak down when I was in elementary school. I went to this after school program until my mom got off work. It was kind of like a free babysitter for her, I guess. But they used to freak out because I would disappear, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, where's Eric at? Where's Eric at?" And I'd sneak down to the music room where where music class or whatever the fuck they call it is, and I would play with the drums. I'd play with the
Totally.
pianos. I'd be like blowing on the instruments that they have down there, and they'd be like, "Where's Eric?" And at first they had a problem with it. They were like, "Oh, you can't do that." And I just keep doing it. And eventually they were like, "He's okay. Just leave him alone." I would spend hours down there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment like with your music production or just your music career as a whole where it was like a breakthrough moment where you learned something that just changed the game for
Really,
you?
it was
Or
just like when I finally like committed to really starting to learn the nitty and the gritty of stuff by trying to learn from YouTube tutorials. Like before then, when I would be producing, a lot of times it would be that thing to where like this track sounds really amazing and better than like these tracks that I've been producing, but you don't know why. And like that those were weird days, you know what I mean? Like you get that feeling of I can do it, but I can't do it all the time. You know what I mean? Like
right,
because some things sound really good and some things don't. At the end of the day, I really attribute that to if you are building a foundation of a track with like sounds that aren't good enough quality, like there's no way you're going to make a good track. You've got to have that foundation and everything in that foundation be, and for me that foundation is drums and bass. So like
yep,
that has got to
the
be
groove.
like such a solid foundation with like no weird, like extra frequencies in the hi-hats that are, killing it or stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, before I really started trying to study on YouTube, like I didn't have those answers. Like I didn't know what I was doing with the EQ or like why it would be better to do it this way. I didn't have that knowledge. Like let's try to pull more of the low frequencies out of tracks that don't need it, so they won't conflict with other tracks that do need it. Like just those little things that you really can't learn on your own. Um,
Right.
all of that stuff was just huge for me, just to really start um, trying to understand like why something would sound better than something else, or what I could do so that I could more consistently hit that good spot. You know,
Yep. I
that really changed things for me.
I had a really intense breakthrough, and it was actually Tony Duncan's.
Tony's the
Um,
man. Tony's the
Tony,
man.
you guys are like OGs in the Clown Army. Like you've been
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
I feel like you've just been around since the beginning.
We absolutely have. I met Tony. He was one of the first like people that I saw just absolutely doing his thing.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is this was like we've been friends for about 8 years now. And back in those days, like I had never done anything live. I didn't have a camera. I didn't know how to share like my stuff on that level. And
Right.
he had made an album, and then he went live on Facebook and played the whole album. And he was playing
Nice.
synthesizers, and the iPad was running shit. I think he was wearing a gas mask. I mean, it was
I
like
remember
art,
that.
man. It was like really cool. And so I started talking to him, and like we had a lot of the same interests and like a lot of the same background, and we became fast friends. And we're actually in a Facebook chat group, Tony and I, and Gaz from the Clown Army as well. And we're constantly like pushing each other to do better and like
That's
talking about
awesome.
gear. We call ourselves the gas station because we're always giving each other, gas for gear. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have that, if you don't have some sort of a system of like friends that you can, talk to, play your music to,
It's
and,
huge.
and just really, be honest with, you gotta find that. That's another thing that the URL gives a lot of people that outlet for. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I really value like the friendship that I've had with Tony these last few years.
I
He's
think
a great guy.
for me, I threw a random question out. I was, struggling with EQ and like compression and just the mixing and mastering side of the music. You know, I had this really cool arrangement, but I was just struggling making it all gel together. And so I just threw one of those generic posts out there like a lot of people do, and they always get good feedback. You know, it's like, hey, I'm struggling with EQ. Can you help? Anybody give me some tips? And fucking Tony came back in my DMs, my messenger. He recorded an entire video tutorial for me. Yeah, that's dope. Just out of the blue. I didn't even know really who Tony was. I'd maybe seen his name around here and there, but we'd never really talked to each other. And he just came back with like, all right, Eric, I'm going to show you some things, and da-da-da-da. Like a fucking 20-minute, 30-minute video.
Totally.
Just
yeah.
Tailored
Tony's
to
a
me.
Great guy and a really big inspiration, for sure.
Yeah. Big ups, Rancid Poets. You're going to
That's
be
it.
up
Big
next.
ups, my friend.
You're going to be soon on the interview. Get ready. So changing gears a little bit, do you like we do a lot of collab challenges and stuff in the URL. Do you participate in them? Do you enjoy working with other people, or are you more
I mean,
like a lone
the
wolf?
collab that I did with Sibby was absolutely magic. I don't know how I got, was lucky enough to get paired up with Sibby. I'm sure like everybody would have loved to get paired up with Sibby. I felt super blessed. And then when we started doing that track together, like she was just out of the park. She did all the heavy lifting on that. She came with the original idea. She came with the lyrics. I feel like I didn't, even fulfill like my half of that. She was like down with it, and that was a really great experience too. Something that I wouldn't, have had the chance to participate in without you guys doing that. So yeah, absolutely. That was a blast to do.
Sibby, you got the dream collab
yeah.
partner. I mean, it makes your work so easy.
Totally. We didn't even have the same DAW. She was using Reason, and I was using Ableton. So we were just passing audio back and forth.
She'll quite often send me a little work in progress she's working on. And she's like, what do you think about this? And I'll be like, that's a fucking finished track. What do you mean?
Yeah, she's a perfectionist as well. She really cares about what she does. And you can just hear it, you know what I mean, in her music. She's another one in the Army that I'm like super jealous of the production skills. Like she comes out of nowhere with like the hardest hitting stuff ever. And you're just like, damn, dude, I gotta get to this,
Mark, can you play Sibby and Dean's track for us?
Been having strange dreams, visions of fucked up things. We had so many good times. It's over now, I must fight.
So see, this is sobriety.
I've been having strange dreams, visions of fucked up things.
So see, this is sobriety.
Sleep at night evades me. By day in fits of mood swings. We had so many good times. It's over now, I must fight.
So see, this is sobriety. Get the fuck out my system. Leave me. Now I see, over decades you deceived me. Sobriety, I was never in too deep a fight for me. You're making me feel like I need you. I don't need you. Nah, I don't fucking need you. Look at me,
flipping up my attitude. Nah, I don't need you. This is not an interlude. Permanently I broke loose. Decades of that drug abuse. My mental state became an issue. Bruising up my brain tissue. All advice I could have given telling younger me, but I could say it to my face. But you can't tell me nothing. I had that teenager attitude. Weed, pills and beans brew. Should've stopped at 22 on account of 3, 2, 1. 30 with my heart race, quicker than the normal pace. Room spinning belt days, heart pounding, pounding on my chest, looking at that half plate, spliff in the ashtray. Made a choice that would be the last one.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah, she
Sibby's
was really
voice
fun
so
to work
much.
with. I'm gonna give props like always on that one. She did all the heavy lifting on that.
That
Amazing
fucking
to be
bass
partnered up
line
with.
just makes my hair on my arms stand up. And I'm always impressed. Like, where the hell does she get these lyrics from? Does she just live in her head? Like, in my head, it's like, like, I'm always so impressed because it's like so emotion filled too. You know, like there's actually
lyrics
a
are like
story
the
there.
hardest thing for me. So anybody that can throw that stuff down, that's always a big, huge
Oh
plus.
my god. Oh my god. I don't know. I think I would shit my pants if I got partnered up with Sibby. I'd be like, oh my god.
She was really easy to work with. She was, though. Yeah.
Oh lord. So you got a big online presence. You've been doing a lot with your showcases, your remix challenge, sample packs and stuff. How do you go about promotion of music? I know a lot of people struggle with the promotion of themselves.
Yeah,
it's hard.
I mean,
it's hard to sell themselves. I got a job interview I'm gonna do this week, and I'm shitting my pants because it's so hard to sell yourself. Like, is there any tips you would give for anybody out there?
I wish that I had some tips for that, because I would take them from myself. Like, I have a really hard time like doing that. And I definitely, even see, this is a thing. Like, I have a really big case of imposter syndrome. Even like, as I sit here, like, this is how I make my living, and I still have a really big case of imposter syndrome.
So
I
many
I have
people
a hard
experience
time
that.
with promotion for sure, or like trying to come across like, "Bro, you should listen to me," and all that. Like,
Right.
I just want to like approach people like on the level. You know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, I actually don't do a lot of promotion. I have an Instagram that I post on sometimes when I'm doing stuff for YouTube, but I
Right.
really don't post there when I'm not doing stuff for YouTube. I don't know, I I could definitely be better at promotion. I think we all could. It's for sure one of the hardest things that we have to deal with. Just lack of interest. You know what I mean? Because there's
Yeah.
so much music out there these days, especially now with the AI is writing music, and a lot
Ugh.
of people don't understand the difference or value what we're doing over that, or
It's a weird landscape we
yeah, for
maneuver
sure.
through right
For
now.
sure. That's why I just want to encourage people to just keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, don't give up doing it just because AI is doing it. Like, fuck that shit. Like, do your thing. Even if your thing sucks. You know what I mean? Just do it. Did you have a good time? Well, then, hey, it was worth it, right?
Also, there's a human element that AI,
Sure.
I don't think, at least right now, AI can't duplicate. Maybe it's that little small error that you made. Maybe there's a note that hit when it shouldn't have hit, or
Sure, sure. You're
it's
never
those
going to get
human
that human
elements.
aspect from it, I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Freaking, I struggle with AI. I go back and forth. I have mixed
Yeah,
reviews
I
on
do
it.
too. I do too. I was using it like to generate some images, like when that sort of became popular.
Yeah,
But then I haven't really been doing that. But I'm really liking, having it help me write code for these apps. Like,
that's freaking brilliant, dude. That's
that's just
fucking
been
brilliant.
magic. But again, like, see, I don't think that I'm an innovator per se, because like I'm not coming up with a lot. I mean, I come up with workflows for like things like that's fine, um, but like mostly I'm just trying to keep up with other people. That's how I feel a lot of the time.
That's hard. It's interesting you say that because for the other people out here, it's hard to imagine that you're trying to keep up with us because, like, we're trying to keep up with you at the same time.
It's a weird, like, I really think a lot of people feel that way, especially like a
Yeah.
lot of the YouTubers, like looking at other people's stuff and that guy's better than me. That guy can speak better on camera than me, or that guy's got a better camera than me. I mean, all those kind of things, those, play into my thought process as well, for
Yeah.
sure. And
Yeah.
I'm you know, I'm real easy to beat myself up about that kind of stuff as well. You know, you didn't do good enough there. You could have done better there. All that kind of stuff.
It's again, it's interesting to hear you say that because, like, just from an outside perspective, I'm like, Dean's got his shit together. Dean knows
That's
what
why I
he's
like to
doing.
share those
Dean,
things, really, because
yeah,
I want other people, if other people are struggling with any of that stuff, I want them to know that they are not alone. You know, I look at a lot of people like, you know, real famous YouTubers and stuff that look like they've got their shit together. Like, and I bet in real life they probably are a lot more like you and I than we realize.
just people, just
Hey,
people out
what's
here
up,
trying to do
Gaz?
what we love. Gasm,
Good to see you, my
the
friend.
man from down under. He has 3 pet kangaroos. That's a little known fact about Gasm Wood. He has 3 pet kangaroos. One's named, I forget their names, but he has 3 pet kangaroos. It's every Australian has to have at least 1 pet kangaroo.
Is this true? Gasm has kangaroo pets?
Yeah,
Tell me this is a genuine fact.
I'm fucking telling you, it's serious.
Oh,
Ask Gaz. Gaz will corroborate it.
Gaz, have you got kangaroos as pets? Because that's impressive.
Gas is another one. Gas is another person that when I first met Gas, he was doing like Dallas stuff. He was doing a lot of he had a Euro rack system and was doing like a lot of Dallas stuff. And he had this, you know, sort of vision like that he'd like to be doing you know, full on top of the line drum and bass production like some of his idols, you know what I mean? But that seemed like a place that he felt that he would never you know, be able to actually get to. And look at him now. And
Oh my
look at him
god.
now. Dude's got like #1 releases. Dude is
Oh
putting in
my
the hours.
god.
And to be able to watch, you know, that progression is like just, I feel privileged to literally watch the people grow, you know, that
Me too.
that I'm around. And like if the people you're around aren't growing, you're around the wrong people. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like this is what it's all about. Like who wants to sit around and be stagnant? It's fun to watch other people like rock it and like really try and really succeed as well. I'm just back here going, yeah, you know what I
You
mean?
gotta
I
pump your
love
homies
that.
up. You gotta pump the homies up, you know?
Well, Gasm keeps coming to me and saying it's all thanks to you, and it's like literally all I did was notice that Gasm was a good producer and then present him to the world. All I did was say, hey, look at this guy, you know. So like, you know, and he is doing so well at the moment. And also he's one of the people that have the same sort of story. It's like, oh, before I met
Yeah.
Clown Army, I wasn't really doing anything, or you know, I didn't think I was going anywhere. Then suddenly Clown Army came along, and you know, and it just lit the fire under their butt
That's
that
it.
they
It can give
needed.
people
It
a
does.
reason to
Yeah.
do it again.
It
I've
does.
heard so many stories of people like, oh, well, I thought maybe I'd get my stuff out again. And I'm like, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Well, don't put your stuff away. Don't put your stuff
Come on.
away. Get your stuff out again.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It gives a reason for a lot of people, like before,
It really does. It
we're
really
just kind
does. I
of
mean,
flags flopping in the wind.
Clownfest like you wouldn't know, and I believe that there are so many people that feel the same way. If you don't have an avenue, then what are you going to do? It's just you out there against the
Yeah.
world. But when
Yeah.
you've got that avenue and you've got that team of people that are doing that same thing, that's magical, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting the bumps right now just
I
thinking
know,
about
me
it.
too. Me too.
Yeah, Alan Kent is another one. He's like, you know, you're giving me a reason to carry on. I'm like, I shouldn't be the reason. I'm glad I am, but I shouldn't be the reason that you should carry on. Your music speaks for itself. It is absolutely, you know, amazing. You know. But
I
yeah.
think it's the community you built and like the vibe around it that's the reason, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
It-
agree with that.
We just like I said earlier, you know, for me personally, when I was making music, it was just me hearing
Yeah.
the music. It was just me hearing it.
Mhm.
Nobody else would hear it. Maybe I'd put it on SoundCloud or something like that, but you know, I'd get like 2 views or whatever. Nobody was hearing what was in my head.
You
And-
want to talk about progression? Just look at Eric. I mean, I cannot find the original track that you put into the URL, and I wish I could, because it is
I got
a
it.
world away from what you're doing now, like an
Sure.
absolute world away. It really is.
I think the first track I put in was called Anxiety. and it was about my anxiety around music. And everybody's like, do this, do that. And I was like, oh, I guess
And
it's
that's
not
the
as scary
point right
as it
there, what
seems.
Tony says. All this talk gets me excited for Clownfest. Exactly.
Yeah.
I get excited for it as well, man.
Dean, what are you doing for Clownfest? Are you using your setup that you showed us
Yeah,
earlier?
this is what I'm gonna base it on. I may end up doing like another, track where I'll do this for a bit and then go and do a different track. But I don't know yet because I have to see how the melodics kind of come together.
Yeah.
Now that I've taken the time to build this foundation.
Sorry, I was reading John's comment. clownarmy and Dean are the reasons why I'm where I am. Gasm, you beautiful cunt.
See,
I love Gasm too. He's such a happy-go-lucky person. He's just.
I agree with that statement, but like it's your music that put you where you are, Gaz.
Yeah.
All we did was say, hey, you should listen to
He's put in
this
the
guy.
hours. He's put in so much hard work. I am so proud of you guys.
I'm proud of all of you guys. Honestly, I just sit back and I'm like, look at the fucking talent that we're surrounded by.
Absolutely.
And they wouldn't have. I don't know. That's a bit of a generalization, but like a lot of them might not have showed their true selves if it wasn't for the platform.
I think that we give a safe place in which to do that, in which to bring whatever you want to the table that you want to bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Before I go into my last question here, or last couple questions, is there anything that we were supposed to play that we didn't play that you would like us to play?
We were gonna play like a clip from a drum and bass video, but I mean, we can if you want to, but it's not gonna hurt my feelings if we don't.
I want to hear it. Mark, cue the drum and bass video. He's like, where did I put that again? Wait. Is this it?
This isn't that video, but this is actually what ended up being my favorite set of all time right there. So that's another great option.
Let's hear it. I need music, bitches. Fill my ear holes with good stuff. What does it say? Mega Mix.
New drum and bass sound bank for the Poly-N Tracker Plus, the Tracker Mini, and also the original Tracker. It features over 2,000 samples and 50 inspiration starter kits to help get you up and running with some fresh inspiration. In this video, I'm going to play through all 50 of these patterns back to back seamlessly. And to do this, I'm using a DJ mixer to get some really simple transitions between the patterns. And I'm using the ERM multi-clock so that I can start and stop the MIDI clock while loading the next pattern into the tracker. Come on, let's check out what these patterns sound like.
Fucking dog. I love your videos, Dean.
Thanks. All of the 50 patterns that are included in the pack, and it was really interesting to actually play them all back to back and have them, work together as like a full kind of thing.
I think that's what's
because
brilliant
they're all
about your
created
packs.
individually, one at a time, but to play them back to back and have it work, that was really satisfying.
Yeah.
This pack specifically actually has samples from Gaz in it as well. He did some of the beats for this pack.
I think I'm interested in this sample pack myself.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Like I said, there's some beats from Gaz on there, and what he did is he made some beats that have a lot of those shuffles in them. And so I went in and I trimmed out from his beats all of the individual shuffles, and then I used a whole bunch of those to create new beats and stuff. So that pack is like a lot of homogenous stuff between two producers. It's a
that's
really
sick.
special pack.
Can I ask, like, so if you got a pack that's for like the poly-in tracker, for instance, is there bits and pieces in there that I can use if I don't have a poly-in tracker? Like, is there
Yeah, for
samples and
sure. These
stuff?
are just sample-based packs, and the samples themselves will load into any box that loads samples. But the patterns will, only
I
load.
can load
in
them into like Ableton and
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
mangle
The
them and do
samples
my
will load
thing?
into anything.
Nice. Okay. See, that's one thing. I've scrolled through your page and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's for the poly-in. That's for this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
That's for, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
a little hesitant sometimes to
Sure.
pull the trigger on some of them because I'm like, I don't have a poly-in. I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
this,
A
I
lot
don't
of
have
the patterns and stuff are going to be specifically for those boxes.
Yeah.
But basically, what's in those packs is just regular standard samples
Okay.
that'll load into Ableton or whatever.
Okay, that's a game changer for me. I'm gonna have a Clown Fest set, and they're gonna be like, "Is this Dean Daughters?" I'll be like, just fucking around. But... So I guess to kind of bring it not to an end, but kind of to an end is what's the big things? I know you touched on a few things earlier. What's the big things we can expect out of you in the coming months?
I've been working really hard on packs for the 1010 Bento. This is a new groove box that's really incredible. It can load like full multi samples. You can slice up stuff. It can do a ton of cool groove stuff. So I've been making like just tons and tons of presets for this. I actually have a pack finished that I'm ready to release for this, which is like 100 bass presets that are all multi-sampled from a whole bunch of hardware synthesizers. And yeah, so just lots more content from me. I just finally cleared 20,000 subs on YouTube,
Nice.
which took like
Congratulations.
8-9 years to to build up.
It's a fucking challenge.
But it took way more work than I ever anticipated. And like I don't really have any current like plans for YouTube content. I'm just really working on these apps and making lots of fresh new sample content.
Yeah, baby. This is your page right here on YouTube, right? I don't know what Mark's doing.
2 million views.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What?
2 million
Yeah,
views.
2 million views.
I've got like hundreds of videos though. Like when I first started, you have no idea like how look how many videos are on your channel. Like would you ever have imagined there'd be that many videos in this long? I mean, my God, it takes so much work.
Yeah.
So much work.
Now
You
we're
have
adding another one.
621 videos on your YouTube, Dean. I've got
God, I can't even
2,400
That's
on
a
mine.
lot
Oh
of
my
fucking
God, Mark, that's
content,
insane.
That is so much content.
Woo.
You could
bit of-
spend weeks listening
What?
to
There's
Dean's
thousands
YouTube
of
page.
yeah, thousands of hours on my YouTube page,
Yeah.
and most of it is Clownfest, you know.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and your 5-hour URLs once a week.
yeah.
You know, that adds up quick.
Yeah.
Dean, is there anything that, any suggestions or ideas for the Clown Army of things that we can do that you think
I
would
would
be
say
cool?
we just need to keep doing what we're doing. I feel like we brought some new members in that are,
Yeah.
really into what we're doing. And I just think we need to keep spreading the word of mouth about it and keep encouraging people to get that gear back out again. Anybody get it out again and remember what that's all about. You know what I mean? It
I
doesn't
think they'll
matter
be
if we're going to get
satisfied when
famous.
they do.
It doesn't matter if we're going to, get albums or all of that. It matters, I think, now more than ever that we do
Just do it.
humanistic creative endeavors with our
Just do
time. What what's the alternative? We're all just gonna have Chat GPT draw our art and Suno make our music? Come on, man. We gotta have a little bit of a last stand, you know? Humanity's last stand.
Absolutely, before the Terminator days start, you know? I personally would like to do more of the challenges that we've done in the past. I'd like to do some sample-based challenges with the people.
Sure.
Get them out there trying to...
It's been great to watch everybody participating in the challenges, like that last collab challenge.
Oh,
was
yeah,
huge.
that was awesome.
Like everybody was a part of that, you know? I wasn't on that one, but everybody else was.
But you can't make them all, you know? You can't.
No, I can't make
do
them all. I try to.
There is an idea being tossed around at the moment that we do like a film score for like, I don't know, a scene
Tron
in a
or
movie or
something.
something.
That would be intense.
Yeah,
That would be really
it's
intense challenge.
It's a step up from what we do already, and I think it would.
Yeah,
it would
I'd love
add a
to
lot
hear what
we
some
do.
people would do with stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what do you mean? Would we do like each person would do like a full score for the movie, or
No. You
or
just
like
pick a
different
scene.
What
tracks?
scene, maybe?
Yeah, pick
okay,
out a scene from a movie, like the ear cutting off scene in Reservoir Dogs, or the big fight scene in Kill Bill, or something like that. You know,
That would be sick.
yeah, difficult to do, I think.
Yeah,
and
for sure,
and
a
should be done
challenge,
with
for
justice.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would
But
just
more
do
challenges.
ambient. I would just do an ambient noise kind of thing, you know, which might be my clown fest. You never know. I'm running out of fucking time here.
Have you not got anything done for Clownfest yet?
I got
A kick drum and a hi hat.
yeah, I got a kick drum and a hi hat that sound really great. Oh, and a bass line and an acid line. That's about it.
Run it for 20 minutes. Nobody will notice.
Run it for 20 minutes, and then I'll tell you guys a story on top of the loop. So, it was 1969, and I was in the desert. I came across a cactus, and I ate the flower off of it. And all of a sudden, the aliens came down. You know, just tell a fucking story. Everybody be like, what the fuck? Anywho.
So, another great interview. Dean, you are a wealth of knowledge. You really, really are. The apps that you're working on have made me, you know, think about doing the same sort of thing. Really, really has. The way you use Chat GPT and all the other stories, you know.
I would
Thank you so
encourage
much, Dean.
everybody to really experiment with that because
Yeah.
you know it hasn't been like a perfect thing. It's definitely been a challenge. I mean, it can't really think for itself, and it definitely like shits its pants and gets confused, like for sure. Okay, but you just keep at it, and sometimes you have to maybe ask it the same thing 2 or 3 times, you know, but I'm living proof that if you spend the time, you can actually
Yeah.
get it to do stuff for you, like cool stuff.
Now, I have to ask, are you using the free version of ChatGPT, or are you
I
using
am
the
paying
paid?
$20 a month.
Okay.
So like that's not like their ultimate version, but it's like their low level paid version, and
Right.
that is necessary to do what I'm doing so that you can like upload files back and forth with it. Yeah.
That's the key, because right now I hit like a threshold with ChatGPT. Even if I'm just like asking it questions like, how do I answer this question in this chat? You know, like I'm stuck. How do I sound empathetic and, you know, have a good answer to this question? And it's like, I'm sorry, Dave, I cannot do that. I'm like, fuck. You know. So I always do this with every interview. People in the chat, what do you guys got any questions for Dean? Questions for Dean in the chat, shoot them right now.
Don't forget, there's 10-second delay.
I know. I'm sitting here waiting for the 10-second delay.
We did have a good few questions from the chat group earlier as well. So yeah.
Yeah, they were hitting us as we go. I mean, and I gotta say, Dean, you've been a really good interviewee, because I have this whole list of questions here that I ripped it by accident, but this list of questions that I kind of are like my outline. Like if I get lost, I'm like, oh yeah, let's ask this question. But you've been steadily answering all the questions on my fucking list without me even asking, which I love. What is the... All right, Dean, come on. 7. It's 7.
42?
European or African? What does that even fucking mean, DJ Jones? Like,
I'm guessing
big
you
question.
have not seen Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail.
They're
No,
like,
I've
yes,
seen it.
yes,
Of course
yes,
I've
yes,
seen
yes.
it. I fought in your general direction. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes,
I'm
that's the one. That's the one.
But what does DJ Jones's question, European or African? What does that even fucking mean?
It's in reply to Tony's
Oh,
question.
okay.
Yeah, like because we didn't know we're going to get blown off the edge of a mountain by an old guy in a big beard. It's Monty Python. It's Monty Python. Anyway,
I don't know. The Africans have bigger penises, so I think I'm going with that answer.
I can't remember the answer from the actual thing.
I want to go watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail now.
If you haven't, you absolutely should, man.
No,
They're like
I
a
have,
staple.
but it's been like ages. Like,
Yeah.
I just remember the little they're doing the horse
Yeah.
sounds. With
Yeah. Meaning of life is better. But anyway, we're not here to do film reviews.
We're here to review Dean. On a scale of 1 to 30, how would you rate Dean's interview?
Oh, 30, absolutely. Like, literally. Like, it was a world
31
apart
and a half.
from Oliver's interview the other week. This actually
Oh,
had
God.
like
Oliver's
technical
interview.
information, and it was good.
Oliver's interview was like fucking riding a bull.
Yeah, it really was.
I was like, oh God. He didn't troll me as much as I thought he would, which I was kind of disappointed because I geared up all week to be trolled, and then it was like kind of somewhat serious. I was like, what the
Yeah, no, he did actually take it seriously, but it's Oliver. And let's not talk about him on Dean's interview, shall we? Dean, you were amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time out
Thanks
of your
for
day
having
to
me,
do
guys.
this.
It was
sir.
a blast.
Oh, anytime, man. I knew this interview was going to be a good one, and it did not disappoint whatsoever at all. So thank you
And
very much.
I hope that my level of ADD wasn't too strong for you.
Well, I hope mine wasn't too strong for you.
There was a portion in that where Dean said, "Oh, I don't want to get too technical," and we're like, "No, go as technical as you like, mate.
Please
go as geeky as
do."
you want." Yeah. Go on, fill your boots on this one, mate. Really.
Look at who you're talking to. Please
Yeah,
get
right?
technical. I'm gonna wank while you get technical, but don't mind me over here. Slow crawl. I think I have probably one of the best jobs in the clown army. I get to hang out with you guys, and like Mark has to do his show and do like super serious shit all the time, but I just get to hang out and like shoot the shit with you guys, and like it's so fucking fun. When I first started doing these interviews, I was a nervous wreck. If you look back at my first interview, I have like these huge sweat stains.
Dude, I
and
know
stuff.
all about it. There's some of my first YouTube live streams where I could hardly speak. Like, literally, I'd be like, okay, give me a minute to catch my breath because this is bad.
Yeah. Do you ever look back and just cringe on those moments? You're
Yes.
like, oh God.
Yes. Yes. Don't play the early URL shows. They are fucking awful. They really are.
Mark has a huge piss stain in his pants on all the first URLs. It's not even sweat stains. It's just straight up piss stains. It's like, dude, come on. Fuck's sakes. But I do think I have one of the cooler jobs right now in the clown army. I get to just like shoot the shit with people. I feel now that I've done a couple of these interviews, it's like I always try and like say it's like we're just hanging out at the pub, having a drink,
Yeah.
shooting the shit, you know. I don't want it to be too formal and stuff, you know.
With loads of people watching us.
With loads of people watching us. So I think we keep the clown in the clown army with these interviews, but you know, thank you, Dean, for taking time and stuff.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I gotta say, you were one of the more flexible people with the interview. You're like, I don't care, whenever, you know, whatever, let's do this. I'm like, oh,
See,
thank God.
I'm just really lucky because, you know, it doesn't really matter what time of the day it is. I'm probably right here. You know what I mean?
I know. When we were coordinating the logistics behind the scene, I'm like, Dean, It's gonna be 9 a.m. your time. Are you sure you're okay with that? We'll force Mark to stay up late if you want. He's like, nah, we'll do it. We're cool. I'm like, oh, cool. But I love you, Dean, man. You're such a fucking positive. You're such a positive person out there in the world.
Somebody's got to be.
Somebody's got to
Shit,
be.
man, it's so crazy here right now. Somebody's got to try to be.
We need more Dean daughters in the world. That's all I'm gonna say, man. You're fucking an amazing human. And with that,
I think the interview's over. Dean, thank you so much for doing this. Absolutely awesome. Right, we're going to leave you tonight with a little bit more from Dean Daughters. This is your favorite live set ever, is that right?
Oh, God, this one came out amazing. Yeah, this is it. Out of everything I've ever done, this is my favorite live set.
I love your pink patch cables, by the way. I think Sarah Summers would approve of your pink patch cables.
Alrighty. Don't forget, catch the URL on Tuesday, 7:30. If you've got a track for that show, put it in the thread. I will be doing some promo on that tomorrow.
Mark.
Yeah.
Can I submit a loose jam of my synthesizers behind me to get some advice?
Absolutely. That's the whole fucking point of the show.
No, it's not really a jam. It's kind of loopy, but like just loopy. But I want to know the what everybody thinks about the levels and how my synths sound together and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you do it.
Okay.
Alrighty. We will see Dean Daughters again for Clownfest, and I'm sure we'll see him on Tuesday night as well.
Dean, do it. Show us your nipples, Dean. Come on.
Ain't nobody want to see my piece of pork wobbling.
Dean. And on that note, catch you later, Eric. Dean, thank you so much. I will see you soon, fella. Catch you later. Again, another wonderful interview from within the Clown Army. Dean Daughters, a wealth of knowledge on just about everything. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, catch me Tuesday, 7:30 for the URL. We're going to listen to a little bit